Chapter 1737. Shi smiled and did not answer Wang Feng directly. However, Wang Feng could tell that this smile was serious. After thinking about it, this smile had a deeper meaning. If I can survive this cosmic calamity, wouldn't it be equivalent to saving the entire universe? Wang Fengxin said, let's not talk about the entire universe. Only the Douluo, divine world, will be able to survive, right? The cosmic calamity was different from the space-time turbulence. At most, the turbulence would destroy the divine world or blow it to other universes. The foundation of the divine world would still be there. When the cosmic calamity came, everything would return to the beginning, destruction, and rebirth. The corner of Wang Feng's mouth twitched. If she could help him survive the cosmic calamity, he would be the only true God in this universe, let alone the Douluo divine world. Who else could she believe in other than herself? Therefore, Shiyu's words were completely meaningless. I thought that you'd gone down there and be all lovey-dovey, and your brain wasn't working properly. Shiyu looked at Wang Feng with a faint smile. What? You finally reacted? Wang Feng coughed twice. That's a matter for the future. Shiyu said softly, I think you should think about how to defeat the false god of the divine system universe. You know too little about the divine system universe. I have a plan, Wang Feng said. Shiyu glanced at him and said, no matter how good a plan is, it is built on the basis of understanding the other party. Otherwise, your plan will be useless. It's just wishful thinking. Wang Feng thought for a moment and said, but there's no way to understand the divine system universe. Although the void-swallowing beast was captured by him, it obviously didn't know much. Although it believed in the false god, its faith wasn't high. Did you forget something? Shiyu hesitated. Wang Feng looked at Shiyu in confusion. Shiyu was silent. Wang Feng tried hard to recall. Suddenly, he seemed to have thought of something. You mean? Wang Feng looked at Shiyu thoughtfully. Dark Demon World. The Dark Demon World had experienced Mo Tian's descent and the baptism of Wang Feng and Mo Tian's first battle. The various demon realms had suffered varying degrees of damage. Fortunately, the Dark Demon World had recovered a lot. That was the power of magical machine technology. As long as the magical domain still existed, recovery was only a matter of time. The number of soul demons that had died was uncountable. If it were any other world, the sharp decline in the population of soul beasts would probably be a devastating blow. However, the Dark Demon World had a complete heavenly Tao samsara system. Besides, with the demon-caused reproduction technology, the number of soul demons was increasing at an extremely fast rate. Otherwise, the Dark Demon Realm would not have had so many people to conquer the other wormhole worlds. Especially when Yin Xingjue was already in full control of the Well of Reincarnation. The population of the Dark Demon Realm would not be lacking. It would only grow. In the future, the number of demon gods would increase rapidly. This was inevitable. After not coming to the Dark Demon World for a long time, Wang Feng actually felt a little nostalgic for this large world that he didn't have any sense of closeness with. Even those soul demons, who did not conform to the aesthetic standards of human beings, were rarely pleasing to his eyes. Recalling the journey in the Dark Demon Realm as the Dai Demon God, Wang Fengxin sighed with emotion. Wang Feng cultivated 2 other souls in the soul domain with the one Qi transformed into the Trinity. At this time, the 3 souls had become initial wheel souls, and 2 of them had a physical body. One of them was the physical body of his main body, and the other was a physical body condensed from Shiyu's heavenly embryo willpower. However, the last initial wheel soul did not have a physical body. Moreover, it could not use Yin Xingjue's heavenly embryo willpower to cultivate a physical body like Shiyu. Because Yin Xingjue's heavenly embryo willpower was not complete, there were still 2 remnant willpowers with Mo Tian's main body. At this time, Mo Tian's was no threat to Wang Feng, but that guy's main body was not hidden in this universe and could not be found in a short time. How do you plan to condense a physical body as an initial wheel soul? Dark Demon World, Central Demon Domain, Clear Sky Palace, Heavenly Tao Incarnation, Yin Qingjue asked. There are many ways to condense a physical body, but it is very difficult to find one that suits your initial wheel soul and has a certain strength. I don't have the heavenly embryo willpower to help you. The genetic technology in the Angel Nebula is also unable to condense a physical body that suits your initial wheel soul. The magical machine technology in the Dark Demon world can't even directly create a Demon Lord-level physical body. Yan Qingjue explained briefly. If the Dark Demon world could create a Demon Lord-level physical body, it would have conquered this universe long ago. Wang Feng laughed. If they could create a Demon Lord-level physical body, it meant that they could create a batch of fake Demon Lords. Even if these Demon Lord puppets only had physical strength and did not have the power of origin, they would still become the most terrifying army. Actually, it is possible, but it would require countless resources. The price ratio is too low, and it is not suitable for you, Yan Qingjue said calmly. We have the technology. She seemed to be dissatisfied with Wang Feng's underestimation of the Dark Demon world. Wang Feng waved his hand and said, I plan to condense this physical body using the power of faith. Yan Qingjue was stunned, as this was out of her expectations. Power of faith, Yan Qingjue said hesitantly. Are you planning to attack those great worlds on the Saint Spirit ranking? You want to go to those worlds and collect the power of faith? The situation in those great worlds is more complicated, and collecting the power of faith is too troublesome. Wang Feng shook his head slightly. I plan to connect this physical body with the ancestral realm, and use the power of faith to condense it into the ancestral realm's creation god to develop the ancestral realm, in addition to the initial wheel soul. Then what are you planning to do? Yan Qingjue was puzzled. I will start for small worlds and collect the power of faith. Wang Feng smiled. Furthermore, some small worlds have a very unique power. What power? The power of destiny, Wang Feng said slowly. The power of destiny? Yan Qingjue thought for a moment, and her voice became even more puzzled. You mean the will of destiny? How can a small world have the will of destiny? This is impossible. Impossible? Wang Feng smiled. Many worlds have their own fates, and the evolution, development, and change of a world cannot be separated from the power of destiny. Life forms with the power of destiny are especially special. Think about the changes in the Douluo world. Yan Qingjue pondered for a long time, and suddenly opened her eyes. She seemed to know Wang Feng's plan. You have been to so many worlds, but have you seen the people with the power of destiny in those worlds? Wang Feng said slowly, I want to become a universe life form and develop the ancestral realm. I need to go through countless initial will tribulations, and I can't just need a universe will. The origin tribulation, godly king's inheritance, only gave me a door. The will of creation in Pangu Axe is only the key to this door. After walking through this door, if I want to become stronger, I need to comprehend more universe wills. Chapter 1738. My initial wheel-time soul is connected to the will of destiny. The power of destiny can help my initial wheel-time soul evolve and get closer to the most mysterious and powerful will of destiny in the universe. Yan Qingjue stared at Wang Feng. She now knew what this guy was thinking. Truly incredible. You've been to many worlds, Wang Feng said slowly. For example, Shrouding Sky World. You even communicated with the great emperor of that world. However, do you know who the will of that world is? Yan Qingjue frowned slightly. That world was extremely huge. There were countless geniuses. The changes of eras involved countless peerless figures. Not everyone could detect the will of destiny. I know. Wang Feng smiled. Yan Qingjue was slightly stunned. For example, you know the Earth of my previous life. However, how much do you know about the great figures in the Earth's history who have carried the will of destiny? Wang Feng asked again. Yan Qingjue nodded. I know quite a lot. Those great emperors all carried the power of the mandate of heaven. Moreover, in the multiverse, they formed different worlds. Because the origin tribulation God King's soul reincarnated and chose Wang Feng, She stayed on Earth for some time and secretly observed Wang Feng. Naturally, she knew the history of Earth. Yin Qingjue had traveled through many worlds and had been to many worlds. In a world where the flowing tear is, you should know who carried the will of destiny, right? Wang Feng asked. Of course I know. It should be Qinyu. Yin Qingjue thought for a few seconds and said. However, when I met him, he no longer needed it. At that time, he was even stronger than the devil god. That's right. Wang Feng nodded. If these life forms that carry the will of destiny can produce the power of faith, then I can also share the will of destiny. Under the effect of the initial wheel-time soul, they can become even stronger. What I need to do is to find those life forms that carry the will of destiny in the river of time and obtain their faith as well as the faith of their world. Yin Qingjue understood. Next, I will search in the river of time and give the information to you. Wang Feng smiled. Then, I will use the time soul of the initial wheel as the foundation and the magical machine technology of Dark Demon World to coordinate these small world life forms that bear the power of destiny. Didn't you build a Crimson Tomb city here? This time, I will use a different method and gather the souls of these life forms. Share them in the spiritual network. Yin Qingju felt that this method was very unique, but also vaguely familiar. What's the name? Let's call it the Myriad Worlds chat group. Yin Qingjue. She finally understood what Wang Feng was thinking. Good. I'll do it immediately. Yin Qingjue glanced at Wang Feng. That's a good idea. Wait. Wang Feng stopped her. There's one more thing. What? Wang Feng briefly told him about the divine systems universe. God's system universe. Yin Qingju was slightly startled. If she doesn't know, how could I know? Wang Fengxin said. Otherwise, Wang Feng would have used the Pangu axe to hack at the deity domain of the false god, who caused trouble for him in the river of time. You don't know, but there is one person who might know. Wang Feng coughed. Yin Qingjue was stunned for a second before saying, You mean the Crimson Divine Sky, Fox's universe-level life form? That's right. Wang Feng snapped his fingers. Up until now, the universe-level life form that Wang Feng knew, other than the origin calamity deity king who had disappeared, there was only Mo Tiance, the universe-level life form of the Crimson Divine Sky, Fox race. He was the one who took Hulaino away. He was the supreme being who gave him a god-forbidden space in Dark Devil World's Azure Sun Devil region and wiped away part of his memory. As a universe-level life form, it was impossible for him not to know about the deity domain. You want to know more about the deity domain from her? Yin Qingjue asked. But I can't contact her. Even though I traded the yin-yang intersection origin with her, she took the initiative to trade with me. I can't find her. Unless Soul Domain's Crimson Fox Undying. Yin Qingjue glanced at Wang Feng. That Crimson Fox Undying should be able to contact that universe-level life form, but she won't want to see me, right? Wang Feng continued. Yin Qingjue nodded. You are quite self-aware. The Crimson Fox deity race believes in pure love. They hate people like you, who are tainted with countless strands of love. Wang Feng's expression darkened. What do you mean by countless threads of love? Yin Qingjue smiled without saying anything. Let's go. Follow me to the Soul Domain to meet that Crimson Fox Undying. See if she's willing to send you a message. Yin Qingjue said. Wang Feng snorted. Soul Domain. Soul Washing Ocean on a certain island. Ever since Yin Qingjue took control of the reincarnation well, the reincarnation cycle of the Soul Domain went on a normal path. It didn't squeeze so many souls anymore, be it soul demons or other life forms. Actually, the reason why the Soul Domain absorbed the souls of other worlds was because the reincarnation wasn't under Yin Qingjue's control. Hence, the souls couldn't reincarnate in an orderly manner. The soul energy in the Soul Domain was extremely unbalanced and could collapse. If the soul demon's resentment couldn't be vented, the Soul Domain might collapse in the end, causing the Dark Demon realm to collapse. Yin Xingjue collected the souls of various life forms from other worlds and put them into the soul domain. Then, they formed an opposition with the souls of the soul demons. In this way, the souls of the soul demons could be colored. Relatively speaking, the method was very cruel. This was the embodiment of the heavenly Tao. Now that the soul domain was orderly, the number of battles naturally decreased. It was peaceful. After the great battle in the soul domain, the Crimson Fox Undying had moved from the area outside the Nether River to the soul-washing ocean. But now, it wasn't like before, when the souls of many beasts from many worlds surrounded the island and asked the Crimson Fox Undying to help them calculate the past and recall the past. The island was very quiet. It was still under a huge tree. The Crimson Fox Undying sat cross-legged, quietly looking at the soul-washing ocean. Threads of light wrapped around his body. "You're here." He suddenly looked at a certain place. Space trembled slightly. Wang Feng and Yin Qingjue appeared here. Hearing this as soon as he appeared, Wang Feng was stunned. "You knew I was coming?" The Crimson Fox Undying was mysterious. He was now beyond the river of time. How could it know that he would come at any time? The Crimson Fox Undying smiled. "It's not that I know, but the master of my race told me that you would come back to find me. You're now beyond the river of time. With my strength, it's naturally impossible for me to calculate your whereabouts." Hearing this, Wang Feng immediately understood. End of chapter. Chapter 1739. "Seems like he was waiting for me," Wang Fengxin said. "He knows about my situation here." Wang Feng probed. Scarlet Fox Supreme Being smiled faintly. His fox face had a hint of profoundness. "My master has been observing you." Scarlet Fox Supreme Being said softly, "Have you forgotten that a strand of your hair is closely related to my clan?" Wang Feng coughed twice. It was fine if he didn't mention it. Wang Feng almost forgot about Hulaina. Speaking of which, Wang Feng felt a little ashamed. "Can he show himself? I have something to look for him," Wang Feng said. Scarlet Fox Supreme Being smiled, but didn't say anything. There was no answer. Wang Feng frowned slightly and glanced at Yin Xingjue. Yin Xingjue also shook her head, indicating that she didn't know. "He doesn't want to see me?" Wang Feng asked again. Scarlet Fox Supreme Being smiled, but didn't say anything. Wang Feng. Wang Feng was silent for a moment before he said, "It can't be that I have to sever the other strands of my feelings for him before he is willing to see me, right?" Scarlet Fox Supreme Being smiled and nodded slightly. "Then forget it." Wang Feng sighed. "So, are you planning to give up on her?" Scarlet Fox Supreme Being wasn't in a hurry and asked leisurely. The her mentioned by Scarlet Fox Supreme Being was Hulaina. "Of course not." Wang Feng shook his head. "When I am strong enough, I will snatch her from your master." Scarlet Fox Supreme Being laughed loudly. "My clan Scarlet Divine, Fox Monarch, actually thinks highly of you." Scarlet Fox Supreme Being said slowly. "When you were attacked by Mo Tiance, she appeared. When you were in the Dark Devil domain, she also gave you the Scarlet Divine Fox Clan's treasures. She even gave you part of the faith of our deceased clan spirits to aid your cultivation." Wang Feng nodded and said, "That's right. I am indebted to your Scarlet Divine, Fox Monarch." Wang Feng wouldn't forget. Actually, whether it was the Scarlet Divine Fox Monarch's help in the Dark Devil domain or the Scarlet Fox Supreme Being in the Soul domain, they were both considered great favors. The Scarlet Divine Fox Monarch's help was also a favor, even if it was for Hulaina's sake. Wang Feng had always kept it in his heart. Wang Feng was confused. When did she appear when he was attacked? By Mo Tiance. The Fox Empress was a step too late. By the time she arrived, you had already self-destructed. His physical body disappeared, and his soul entered the spirit domain. Scarlet Fox Supremacy seemed to have noticed Wang Feng's confusion and explained, "After that, you didn't know that the Fox Monarch had attacked Mo Tiance's main body. Mo Tiance was fearful, so he didn't forcefully break open the soul domain and enter it to deal with you. Of course, you don't know about this." Wang Feng frowned slightly. If that was the case, the reason why Mo Tiance didn't come to the Soul Society wasn't just because he thought of it himself, but also because his real body was attacked. Hence, he didn't dare to enter the Soul Society. However, just as the Crimson Fox Supremacy had said, he didn't know any of that. It's true, Yin Qingjue said, when the Crimson Divine Fox Emperor made a deal with me and told me about the yin-yang fusion origin, he mentioned this. Wang Feng looked at Yin Qingjue suspiciously. I understand. Wang Feng looked at Supremacy Crimson Fox. What does she want from me? Since the Crimson Fox Supremacy had said so, it was obvious that the Crimson Divine Sky Fox clan wanted him to do something. Very simple. Crimson Fox Supremacy smiled and said, complete the yin-yang universe willpower of my clan. Wang Feng gasped. F***CKU, I haven't even become a universe-level life form. And you want me to complete the universe willpower? The universe willpower was very complicated. It was a higher-level power that was formed by the fusion of many origin energies. Most of them had a main origin core and many other origin cores. Only by gathering all these origins, fusing and comprehending them, could one come into contact with the universe willpower. This was the reason why Wang Feng's primordial origin was extremely slow in deducing the universe willpower. Even the incomplete astral river willpower that Mo Tians had dropped required a long time to deduce. The yin-yang willpower of the Crimson Divine Sky Fox clan was even more complicated and massive. It was also harder to deduce. With his current strength, it was hard for him to complete it. This, I can't do in such a short period of time, Wang Feng said. You don't have to do it immediately. Crimson Fox Supremacy said, but you need to agree. As long as you agree, the Fox Emperor will naturally meet you to clear your doubts. Wang Fengxin broke out in cold sweat. The yin-yang willpower was very unique. Wang Feng's instinct told him that this might be a trap. However, this Crimson Divine Fox Emperor was very important. If he couldn't even meet him, he wouldn't know anything about Hulaina, not to mention other information about the God System's universe. Just agree. Yin Qingjue transmitted her voice. This is nothing. I've been traveling the universe. As a universe-level life form, this Crimson Divine Fox Emperor is the only one you can come into contact with. With that little lover of yours, you can't get rid of this layer. Wang Feng pondered for a moment. He naturally understood what Yin Qingjue said. After thinking for a long time, Wang Feng nodded and said, all right, I agree. So be it. It wasn't like he hadn't done this before. Crimson Fox Supremacy smiled and nodded. He then moved forward and half-knelt on the ground and said, Fox Emperor, he has agreed. The moment he said that, a light flickered in midair. Wang Feng's body shook. He felt a mighty figure that seemed to have awakened from the depths of the universe. It traveled through billions of light years and appeared in midair. It was an imposing figure that couldn't be described with words. There was only a silhouette with red ribbons circling around like willow clouds, forming a unique aura. Even such a blurry figure gave Wang Feng a strong urge to worship him. This feeling only lasted for a moment, but it still shocked Wang Feng. This was a true universe-level life form. It was a different feeling from Mo Tians. Mo Tians' Star River willpower wasn't as strong as this blurry figure. This Crimson Divine Fox Emperor should have passed the initial wheel calamity. However, I wonder how many times he has gone through it. Wang Fengxin thought to himself. The yin-yang willpower, even if incomplete, was stronger than Mo Tians' Star River willpower. However, Wang Feng was no longer the same as before. He remained unmoved in the face of such power. He was only one step away from becoming a universe-level life form. He was still lacking the accumulation of time to combine his three souls and comprehend the splitting heaven willpower. Moreover, his initial wheel soul was already close to the level of a universe-level life form due to his cultivation in the cosmic time river. Naturally, he wouldn't be intimidated by such power. At the same time, Wang Feng felt a sense of familiarity with this figure. Back in Qingyang Demon Region's Chiqiu district, the silhouette of this voice was very similar to that figure. It was the same person. Oomph. A cold snort could be heard from the blurry voice. Wang Feng, you are very bold. Back then, I didn't just bestow you with treasures. I even gave you quite a bit of my race's power of faith. I only erased your memories. However, you secretly cultivated this soul-splitting divine ability and easily recovered your memories. Chapter 1740. Hearing this, Wang Feng didn't feel ashamed at all. Fox Emperor, first of all, you didn't ask for my permission before erasing my memory. Secondly, I've cultivated this soul-splitting divine ability a long time ago. When I first met you, it was just a clone of mine. Erasing the memory of that avatar didn't affect my main body. My main body's memory is still there. What does this have to do with my avatar? He said it with confidence. You, Crimson Divine Fox Emperor, glared at Wang Feng coldly. This matter had always bothered her. When she first heard Crimson Divine Fox Emperor mention it, she was especially angry. Now that she thought about it, she was a universe-level life form, but she was actually tricked by Wang Feng. How could she not be angry? Crimson Divine Fox Emperor's eyelids twitched. He was probably the only one who dared to talk to the Fox Emperor like this in this universe. If it was someone else, even if it was Yin Qingjue, with the Fox Emperor's personality, she would have scattered her ashes without a second thought. With the prestige of universe-level life forms, not to mention the heavenly Tao of a large world, even a unit universe could be destroyed if provoked. Crimson Divine Fox Emperor didn't speak. After a long silence, she calmed down and said in an indifferent tone, "You're not afraid of anyone. You're not afraid of anyone. I'll spare you for Nana's sake. But the godly system won't let go of anyone who offends them. You're just a native sky god. You don't know your place. How dare you start a war with the gods of the godly system? Wang Feng, I can already see your end." Hearing this, Wang Feng's eyelids twitched. Sure enough, this big shot knew about the godly system. Not only did she know, but she probably knew a lot about it. "They provoked me," Wang Feng explained. "I didn't provoke them. A false god of the godly system coveted this universe and wanted to develop believers here. He even wanted to deal with me in the river of time. If it weren't for my luck, your saintess might have been widowed." "Get lost," Crimson Divine Fox Emperor said coldly. "I won't give Nana to you. Don't daydream. Don't change the topic. Do you know about the godly system universe? Do you know what a battle of gods entails? Do you know what a battle of gods entails? Do you think this is a simple fight?" Wang Feng coughed twice and said, "I don't know, but I didn't come to ask you. Besides, wasn't the battle of gods just a fight? Furthermore, you know about this matter so quickly. Are you very familiar with the god system universe?" The Crimson Divine Fox Emperor sighed and remained silent. Wang Feng listened quietly. Logically speaking, the news spread too quickly. The Crimson Divine Fox Emperor was most likely a god from the god system universe. "I'm not a god of the divine system universe." That false god's individual strength might not be as strong as yours. However, his god domain has been developing for tens of thousands of years. There are trillions of faith gathered within the god domain. Even if you kill for 10,000 years, you won't be able to kill all the family races. For him to easily defeat you, a cosmos life form who hasn't even undergone the first origin wheel calamity, someone like Mo Tiance is nothing in front of such a false god. You don't even have a god domain. At most, you only have the faith of a single soul world. Yet you rely on your strength and treasures to start a battle of gods. Do you think you are challenging a false god? The Crimson Divine Fox mercilessly attacked. You are challenging the system of the god system universe. Fool! The Crimson Divine Fox spoke in more detail than the devouring space beast. She might even know more. Wang Feng frowned slightly. That was indeed the case. He was challenging the system of the god system universe. The god system universe has been developing for tens of thousands of years. The Crimson Divine Fox's tone became more relaxed. You didn't directly eliminate that false god. I believe you must know that there is an existence like the primal cosmos god in the god system universe. Thus, you don't dare to do so. I can understand, but rather than starting a battle of gods against a false god, you might as well directly eliminate that false god. The primal cosmos god has lived for an unknown number of years. Think about it. After such a long history, the system of the God system universe has been perfected to perfection. You have never come into contact with it. It is impossible for you to win a battle of gods. The Crimson Divine Fox Emperor spoke. Perhaps it was because he felt tired mentally, so he became silent. Wang Feng remained silent for a while. After thinking for a while, he forced himself to say softly, I feel that there is still a chance, Crimson Divine Fox Emperor. Chapter 1741. Wang Feng wasn't joking. He really felt that he had a chance. What chance do you have? Crimson Deity Sky Fox glanced at him and said slowly, I only have one suggestion for you. Take your people and leave this universe. Your potential is not bad. Becoming a universe life form is a given. Leave this universe and slowly become stronger. You have to be quick. Someone from the God System universe will come knocking on your door soon. Leave? Wang Feng smiled and didn't reply. He suddenly recalled the past. Back then, when he met a strong enemy, he would try his best to avoid them and rely on the system to slowly grow stronger. Now that he had reached his level, he didn't have the system. He was already standing at an extremely high position. How could he still make such a choice in such a situation? Back then, his vision was limited. When facing a strong enemy, he could only think of simple and direct methods. But now he had grown up. His vision was far from what it used to be. Why don't we make a bet? Wang Feng said, Senior Fox Emperor, if I can win this deity battle, you can't sever my relationship with Ulaina. It doesn't matter how many partners I have. If I lose, I have no choice. By then, my relationship with Nana will naturally be severed. This bet was actually very beneficial to Wang Feng. But in reality, it wasn't harmful to Crimson Deity Sky Fox. Crimson Deity Sky Fox frowned slightly. If this guy could defeat that fake god through the deity battle, it would mean that their god system universe's system would be greatly impacted. It would also mean that this guy's potential and strength had reached an unimaginable level. At that level, the rules of the Crimson Deity Sky Fox race would be meaningless to him. If he lost, naturally he would be gone. Even if Nana couldn't let it go, she would have to forget about it. Rather than a bet, it was more like something that was bound to happen. It was just that it wanted to give him a way out. After all, it had said so much. It couldn't be treated as nonsense. If you don't listen to my advice, then I can only watch from the side. Crimson Deity Fox Emperor said indifferently, Take care of yourself. Then, Crimson Deity Fox Emperor pointed at Wang Feng's forehead. A lot of information about the God System universe flowed into Wang Feng's brain. For Nana's sake, I can only tell you this much. Other than that, I will not help you. After saying that, the Crimson Divine Fox Emperor disappeared. Only a faint lingering sound could be heard. I'm ashamed. I've already helped enough, Wang Fengxin said. The Crimson Divine Fox Emperor was also a native heavenly deity, but she was clearly different from him. If the Red God Fox Emperor really helped him secretly, once the God System universe found out, the universe where the Red God Fox Emperor was in would be in trouble. Naturally, she would not take such a huge risk. It was already good enough to tell him some detailed information about the Divine System universe. I wonder how Ulaina is doing at the Crimson Divine Fox Emperor's place. Wang Feng could not help but think. He knew that if it wasn't for Ulaina, the Crimson Divine Fox Emperor might not even have agreed to meet him. Back then in the Red Hills, it was even more impossible for him to help him. It's time to leave, Wang Feng whispered to Yan Qingjue. Yan Qingjue nodded slightly. After bidding farewell to the Crimson Fox Honorable, she returned to the Clear Sky Palace in the Dark Demon Realm. I'm going to make a trip with Xiao Shui to her universe. It won't be too long. During this time, I hope you can set up a myriad world chat group and pull in the Children of Destiny from some worlds, Wang Feng instructed. When I come back, add me into the group, and the plan can be carried out. Yan Qingjue pondered for a moment and said, What if someone from the Divine System universe comes? The Divine System universe is different from here. Wang Feng's eyes flickered. In the information given by the Fox Emperor, the Divine System universe is divided into countless divine systems. There is the Dongwang Divine System, the divine court divine system, the Western fantasy divine system, and so on. Countless divine systems have gathered to form the divine system universe. My opponent is just a genius false god from the Dongwang divine system. The Dongwang divine system does not have a high status in the divine system universe. That false god wants to use this opportunity to increase the influence of the Donghuang divine system in the divine system universe. Therefore, he must create momentum and let the entire divine system universe know about this. Wang Feng sneered. And, in order to be foolproof, he must have made sufficient preparations. This information was given by the Crimson Divine Fox Emperor. It could be considered a simple understanding of the enemy. He may send a letter of challenge very soon. Wang Feng said faintly, but it won't be very soon before the divine war begins. As soon as he finished speaking, Wang Feng's soul sensed Shi Yu's transmission. Wang Feng, a god from the divine system universe, has come. Wang Feng smiled slightly and said, "Look, the letter of challenge is here." Divine world. Tang Sen looked at the sky solemnly. There were many things waiting to be done in the divine world. After Mo Tian's death, the divine world was thriving. Moreover, he could vaguely feel that the barrier he encountered seemed to be able to break through. The death of Mo Tian's clone could be said to have injected a brand new and powerful force into the divine world. In addition, Shi Yu, the heavenly path, had followed Wang Feng to cultivate in the river of time, and her soul had become stronger. As the incarnation of the heavenly path, Shi Yu had become stronger, and the laws and order of the divine world had become more perfect. Tang Sen could naturally touch a higher level of power. However, there was still a long way to go before he could reach the level of a universal life form. However, the situation seemed to be developing in a good direction. But, third brother, that Mo Tian's has just disappeared. Why did the sky of our divine world split open again? What kind of demon is coming this time? Xiao Wu stood beside Tang San and looked into the distance helplessly. A crack had been torn open in the sky of the divine world. Two silhouettes appeared outside the crack and stepped in. In an instant, the entire divine world trembled. Tang San's face darkened. Just the aura of these two figures made him feel that they were not inferior to Mo Tian's clone. They might even be stronger. The two figures seemed to be human. But in fact, upon closer inspection, there was a faint shadow floating on their bodies, like the manifestation of some kind of starry sky beast. Sensing it slightly, Tang San's back was drenched in cold sweat. He even had a premonition that it would not be difficult for these two mysterious visitors to destroy the divine world. Most importantly, they did not cast their gaze below the divine world. Instead, they were looking at the sky. Third brother, the gods of our divine world are not that weak. Xiao Wu saw the shock in Tang San's eyes and immediately waved her fist and said. Tang San came back to his senses and nodded with a smile. The shock in his eyes gradually disappeared and was replaced by confidence and calmness. Chapter 1742. At this moment, the two figures suddenly snorted coldly at the same time. In an instant, countless cracks appeared in the sky of the god realm, as if it would shatter at any moment. Then, the two figures slowly separated, and a scroll fell from between them. The scroll was covered with countless densely packed runes. It was like some kind of encrypted law that transcended time and space and floated in the sky. Almost instantly, Tang San and Xiao Wu were shocked. The two of them froze on the spot like Sun Wukong, who was pressed into the five-finger mountain by Gautama Buddha. An invisible force bound the entire god realm. All the creatures in the god realm, including them, couldn't fight for it. This was not time stop, but a powerful pressure. It was unknown what was carved on the scroll, but it was actually emitting an incomparable pressure. The god realm was stunned. It seemed to have stopped working, but Tang San and Xiao Wu's consciousness was still there. How dare you? The sky cracked, and a pair of eyes with peerless divine power appeared. A cold and emotionless voice secretly came. How dare you make trouble in the god realm? It's the god realm's heavenly Tao, the Genesis divinity source, Tang San whispered. Brother Feng told us that he has a close relationship with the God Realm's heavenly Tao. Is this related to Brother Feng? As the God Realm's heavenly Tao, the Genesis divinity source usually didn't interfere with the operation of the God Realm. It rarely appeared. Tang Sen had been in the God Realm for a long time, and he basically heard about it. The last time he saw Wang Feng enter the Star Soul Road to see the Genesis divinity source in the God Burial Blood Tomb in the Void Domain. Hey, it looks like it's Brother Feng's enemy. Xiao didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Brother Feng's enemies are endless. By the way, not long ago, you sensed that the God Realm would encounter a great disaster. Why didn't you appear? Does it have something to do with this? Not long ago, as the ruler of the God Realm, Tang Sen naturally sensed that the God Realm would encounter a great disaster. Tang Sen's consciousness suddenly froze. Maybe it's true. I can sense that the God Realm is about to face a calamity. The Genesis divinity source had a premonition that Big Brother Feng had a close relationship with it. In that case, it was highly likely that Big Brother Feng had acted to avert the calamity of the divine realm. Did you provoke a new enemy? Tang San and Xiao Wu deserved to be Wang Feng's companions who had a legendary experience. He had basically guessed the sequence of events. Wang Feng didn't tell them. Heavenly Tao of the God Realm. This is the deity battle holy scroll. Since you heavenly cosmos gods wish to challenge the false gods of my cosmos laws, you should be prepared. At this time, the two figures spoke at the same time. Their voices were indistinguishable. It was as if only one of them was speaking, sending out a consciousness that could spread throughout the entire divine world. The sacred scroll of the deity's war is a letter of challenge written by the three supreme gods of the Dongwang divine system. I'll place the holy scroll here and wait for that native heavenly deity to sign it. If you want to go back on your word and not sign it, this holy scroll will suppress this world, and you will never be able to rise again. As a warning, I am a subordinate of the heavenly law enforcement god of the divine system universe, God Punishment Spirit Venerable. I'm here to deliver the sacred scroll of the deity's war. A torrent of consciousness like the Milky Way was transmitted to the entire divine world. She used two eyes exuded an icy chill. Sacred scroll of the deity's war, letter of challenge. Three supreme gods. Heavenly deities were universe-level life forms at the very least. Supreme gods were naturally stronger than universe-level life forms. None of this was mentioned. Just a letter of challenge alone could suppress the divine world and make it impossible to rise again. It was enough to see that the divine system universe had their eyes on Wang Feng. Wang Feng didn't even have the slightest chance to refuse. Once Wang Feng refused, the divine world would definitely be overturned. At this moment, even Shi Yu, the heavenly Tao of the divine world, couldn't resist a mere letter of challenge, undoing the current state of the divine world. She could only wait for Wang Feng to come and sign it. That letter of challenge was like the 6 runes mantra on the 5-finger mountain. Only Wang Feng could solve it. Shi Yu was silent. The divine system universe was aggressive. Wang Feng said it lightly. Now it seemed that the false god he wanted to challenge would not be so easy. At this moment, a calm voice sounded from the sky. You want to suppress the divine world with a mere letter of challenge? Laughable. At the same time, an ancient yellow giant bell rang in the sky. Dong! The ancient sound seemed to symbolize the recovery of the universe. Boundless power spread across the entire divine world like a wave of stars. In an instant, the divine world that had been suppressed and turned gray was instantly dyed with color and restored to its original calm. A wisp of the divine war holy scroll in the sky made a slight sound. Boundless light seemed to escape from all directions and was absorbed into the scroll. The scroll fell, as if it had lost its spirituality, until it fell into a palm. Unknowingly, the owner of the palm had already appeared under the sky, standing not far away from the 2 divine punishment spiritual venerables. The 2 divine punishment spiritual venerables were stunned at first, then looked at the giant bell in the distance and the owner of the mysterious voice in horror. An indigenous heavenly god. It was that indigenous heavenly god. one indigenous heavenly god. The two divine punishment spiritual venerables spoke at the same time, with undisguised shock in their voices. This scroll was written by three supreme gods at the same time, and it contained a bit of divine will deliberately left behind by the supreme gods. Fake gods would retreat when they saw it, and couldn't look at it directly. Even a newly promoted heavenly god would have to use all his strength to resist the divine will on it to ensure that he wouldn't be intimidated by it. Using it to suppress such a big world, saying that it would never be able to rise again, was an understatement. They didn't expect that a mere indigenous heavenly god could easily break the probabilistic divine will on this holy scroll without signing the letter of challenge. Are you going back on your word? The two divine punishment spiritual venerables said coldly again. Back on my word. Wang Feng sneered. What a joke. You want to use a mere letter of challenge to restrain me? It's simply a childish method. Your divine system universe is high and mighty, but the methods you use are nothing. I'm the one who issued the letter of challenge. Why would I go back on my word? Wang Feng spread out the scroll directly. There were densely packed divine runes on it. The divine runes directly appeared, turned into a consciousness, and entered Wang Feng's mind. Even if he couldn't recognize these divine runes, they were written by a god. The divine system universe didn't use divine runes as the ancient carrier of information. Only under certain special circumstances would they write divine runes. Moreover, these divine runes had a unique consciousness that could allow life forms that didn't understand divine runes to understand them easily. The contents of the letter of challenge were the rules of the battle of gods. It wasn't much different from what the crimson deity, Celestial Fox, had said. Wang Feng's fingertip lightly touched the scroll, and his divine power engraved two words. I just want to tell you about the divine system universe. Wang Feng threw the scroll to one of the divine punishment spiritual venerables and said lightly, when the time comes, don't go back on your word. Keep this letter of challenge well. Chapter 1743. The two divine punishment spiritual venerables hurriedly took the scroll and looked at it carefully. After confirming that there was no mistake, they took a deep look at Wang Feng and disappeared into the sky of the divine world. Everything returned to normal. They left just like that? Shiyu asked telepathically. Of course. Wang Feng sneered and replied. They probably didn't expect me to sign it so decisively and so quickly. These two divine punishment spiritual venerables are probably planning to show their power in the divine world for a long time. Shiyu was silent for a while and asked, what is written in the scroll? Some rules and preparation time. When does it start? Shiyu asked again. Wang Feng glanced at the divine world leisurely. When the last divine star of the Dongwang divine system is lit up with the divine fire. Shiyu heard this and didn't understand at all. What do you mean? Shiyu vaguely felt that there seemed to be some inside story. Simply put, it is 100 days later in the divine system universe. Wang Feng said lightly, the Dongwang divine system is a branch of the divine system universe, and that fake god belongs to it. The divine star is a special astral realm of the Dongwang divine system. Every time a fake god successfully lights up the divine fire in the divine star, it means that the divine territory of this fake god has condensed a powerful divine body of faith and is half a step into the realm of Empyrean God. The Dongwang divine system will officially rank this fake god in their divine system. He will be selected as the Empyrean God of the entire divine system universe. And 100 days later, the fake god who agreed to a divine battle with me will light up the divine fire in the divine star. And according to the time calculation, the divine star of the Dongwang divine system will close after 100 days. So, the fake god will light up the divine fire in the divine star at the latest 100 days later. Shiyu understood. So the divine battle will only start when the fake god is about to break through. The key is that the fake god is only half a step into the realm of Empyrean God when he lights up the divine fire. He was still not a heavenly deity. He was still a false deity. So the gimmick is still a divine battle between a fake god and a native Empyrean god, Wang Feng added. That's a little shameless. Shiyu frowned slightly. How can the time of the divine battle you initiated be completely controlled by them? This is not shameless. Wang Feng shook his head. The divine battle is the rule of the divine system universe. Do you think a native heavenly deity can negotiate with them? If there was, there wouldn't have been a war between the gods. Those two spirit venerables of divine punishment brought this holy scroll of challenge here. They used the divine world as a threat to make you sign this unfair challenge. Shiyu sighed. No wonder they looked at you strangely when they left. They probably didn't expect you to sign them so readily. Unfair? Wang Feng smiled. I think it's quite fair. That fake god needed time to light up the divine fire and fan the flames. I happen to need some time as well. I can't wait for him to live longer. Shiyu pondered for a moment before she realized that Wang Feng, a native heavenly god, did not even have his own divine domain, let alone develop it. If he wanted to catch up to that native heavenly god in a short period of time, he would need time. Now that you mention it, that false god is actually helping you. Shiyu pondered for a moment. No, it's not helping me. Wang Feng's lips curved into a smile. It's because he's extremely confident in the divine system universe. The gods of the divine system universe, from birth to adulthood, in addition to cultivating their own divine domains, basically take tens of thousands of years. To cultivate one's own divine domain, it would take at least tens of thousands of years. A native heavenly god is not walking the path of the divine system universe at all. Not to mention cultivating a divine domain, it would take a lot of time just to open one's own divine domain. In 100 days, you can't even find the embryo of a divine domain. What do you think a genius god of the divine system universe thinks a native heavenly god can do in 100 days? We can't do anything. Shiyu fell silent. Indeed, in that fake god's expectation, the worst outcome is that I, a native heavenly god, break the rules of the war between gods with my own strength, then get caught by the law enforcement gods of the divine system universe and be tried in the highest godly court of the divine system universe. Wang Feng said leisurely, the best outcome is naturally that I'm going to break the rules of the war between gods and be defeated by him. And if I want to break the rules of the war between gods, I must have a divine domain of my own. In his opinion, in these 100 days, a native heavenly god should have just enough time to open one. She was shocked. You mean he's deliberately giving you this time? Not long, not short, enough for you to understand certain rules, but not to be forced to break the rules of the war between gods. Of course, the gods of the divine system universe are all high-level beings. They're not stupid. So that fake god won't set the time as soon as possible. Instead, he'll give me a time when I, a native heavenly god, am confident that I can use this time to understand and have some hope of winning the war between gods, and not be forced to break the rules of the war between gods. To put it simply, he'll give you a little bit of hope. That fake god thinks that a native heavenly god is powerful and must be extremely confident in himself. Even if there's a little bit of hope, it's enough for him to defeat everything with this little bit of hope. You don't say. His calculations are very accurate. That's exactly what I'm thinking now. Wang Feng smiled. Shiyu, however, was not happy. Wang Feng had made a trip to the Dark Demon world, and obviously already knew the information he wanted to know. However, he was so optimistic, and the fake god calculations were so accurate. Don't worry, I already have a plan. Wang Feng said slowly. Next, I'm going to make a trip to other universes. 100 days' time is actually enough. Where are you going? Angel Nebula. Angel Nebula. The Angel Nebula had expanded a lot during Tian Xiao Wang's era. The angel warriors guarding outside the nebula had cold and solemn expressions, looking at the silent universe starry sky. There was not a trace of relaxation in their eyes. Although Tian Xiao Wang's power shook the universe, there were still many rascals. For example, the Queen of the Demon Nebula, who was once Holy Keisha's biological sister, chose to walk another path because of her ideology. There was also the Death God Carl of the Dark Nebula, who was waiting for an opportunity in another corner of the universe. As the mastermind behind the plan to destroy Holy Keisha, Carl who thought he could gain an ally when Tian Xiao Wang established the Dark Order and became Tian Xiao Wang's queen, suffered a destructive blow from Tian Xiao Wang. However, Carl, who had become a void creature, was already standing at the highest point of the entire universe. Even Tian Xiao Wang could not kill him, and could only intimidate him. These forces to the current Angel Nebula and the Light and Dark Universe alliance that unified the entire universe were all hostile forces hidden in the dark. However, they were not much of a threat. At this moment, a valiant figure suddenly flew out of the light gate outside the Angel Nebula. It was a female angel with a pair of white wings and short, fluttering golden hair. Chapter 1744. I received a message from Heaven Cultivation King's personal angel you. The king is returning to the nebula. The angel said lightly. Yes. The guardian angels were shocked and immediately replied respectfully. The king has left the Angel Nebula for quite some time. There is no news at all. If he doesn't return, Heaven Cultivation King might lead the angel army to sweep the entire universe. Heaven Cultivation King is the highest combat power in the Angel Nebula. Without her, no one can govern the darkness of the universe. Who knows what chaos will happen? The guardian angels whispered. Captain Yin, have you been to Heaven Cultivation King's Yin-Yang Nebula? The guardian angel suddenly asked. Why do you ask? The golden-haired angel glanced at him from the corner of his eyes. I heard that the dark angels represent the other extreme power of us angels. They have extremely powerful destructive power, but are difficult to control. They require Heaven Cultivation King to personally impart a special genetic code to activate them. They have a special dark angel divine body. I heard that only one dark angel warrior can be born out of 10,000 angels. The guardian angel said reverently. The Yin-Yang Nebula was where the Yin-Yang Cosmic Alliance was located. It was a special area independent of the Angel Nebula. Not only were there angels, but there were also many experts who joined the Yin-Yang Cosmic Alliance. For example, there were super warriors on the Blue Planet and immortal generals on the Blazing Sun Heavenly Path. That power is extremely powerful. Even we angels cannot control it at will. The angel called Yin replied lazily. To become a dark angel, you need to go through a test. Your combat age is too low, less than 5,000 years. You cannot accept the baptism of the dark power. If you want to control the darkness, it is useless to only have light in your heart. You also need to truly become darkness. She paused as she spoke, as if she was trying to intimidate the guardian angels. The guardian angels were immediately frightened and did not dare to speak. Why don't you choose to become a dark angel? Captain Yin, your strength and combat age are definitely enough, right? A guardian angel said with a smile. Back then, Angel Lung, who was at the same level as you, could become a dark angel. You could definitely do it too. You can obtain a stronger divine body and power. I can. Yin revealed a smile. Then you? Yin touched the wings on her back and said, but I feel that white wings look better than black wings. So, after thinking about it, I decided to forget about it. The guardian angel was speechless. Many angels in the Angel Nebula yearned to become a dark angel and experience another power of angels. But it was clear that this Yin angel did not have such awareness. At this moment, a streak of light suddenly appeared in the distance. What a powerful aura. In an instant, the well-trained guardian angels immediately cast their gazes into the distance. Yin angel's brows furrowed even more deeply. What a powerful aura fluctuation. Furthermore, this fluctuation belonged to an angel. She was at least an angel of the same level as him. However, it was still rather unfamiliar. Could it be the Dark Angel from the Yin-Yang Nebula? However, the Dark Angels usually only followed the Heaven Cultivation King. Their powers were different from the Angel Nebula, and they rarely came to the Angel Nebula. Who? Yin Fei flew into the starry sky, and with a clear shout, he pulled out a long sword burning with raging flames from the void. This was the standard weapon of the Angel Nebula. Yin, what are you doing? It's me. The light and shadow condensed, and turned into an angel with a blank look on his face. You are. An angel glanced at him. I seem somewhat familiar, but why is it different from what I remember? Wait, she suddenly widened her eyes. You are you. You are the personal angel of the Heaven Cultivation King. No, the aura of your divine body is that of the fourth generation divine body. Who exactly are you to dare pretend to be the personal angel of the Heaven Cultivation King? Angel, you blinked. Sister Yin, look carefully. I am only at the peak of the third generation divine body. I have not reached the level of the fourth generation divine body. The angel divine body had a special engine that could sense the level of development of the divine body. There is only a very slight difference between the peak of the third generation divine body and the fourth generation divine body. Yin Angel's divine body was currently only at the peak of the third generation divine body. It was difficult to distinguish the difference between it and the fourth generation divine body. Even if it is the peak of the third generation divine body, it is impossible. Angel Yin sneered. Little thing, who exactly are you? Even if you want to become Angel You to deceive me. That little angel only has the second generation divine body. You should have at least asked around before pretending, right? The personal angel of the Heaven Cultivation King is only used for the daily care of the Heaven Cultivation King. You don't even belong to the Heaven Cultivation King's personal angel. So where did the peak of the third generation divine body come from? Even if the Heaven Cultivation King's true personal angels are not all peak of the third generation divine body. I know all the known ones. With that, Angel Yin pointed his sword at Angel You. Who exactly are you? If you don't speak, Angel You shook her head helplessly and looked at the starry sky. Sai, I, who was transformed into a peak of the third generation divine body by the king, can't even enter the door of the Angel Nebula. Sister Yin even suspects that I am an imposter. What should I do? I am so anxious. The king will be back soon. Sister Yin, it really is me. Angel Yu was very anxious, but she didn't know how to explain, because she couldn't explain it clearly in a short time. Besides, Sister Yin, don't fight. You might not be able to beat me now. Angel Yu hurriedly waved her hand. Angel Yan's face sank. Good fellow. If you are Angel Yu, I can hang you up and beat you for 10 days and 10 nights. Angel Yin sneered and was about to attack. At this moment, an elegant figure slowly walked out from the door of light, accompanied by a cold voice. Yin, stop. She is little Yu. As soon as the voice fell, Angel Yin stopped. The guardian angels around the door of light knelt down and said respectfully, Sky Foundation King. Ishi, what do you mean? Angel Yin frowned. The newcomer was one of the 3 kings of the Angel Nebula, Sky Foundation King He-She. However, after the ascension of the Heaven Cultivation King, He-She thought that it was time for her to retire. So she took the initiative to resign from the many angel elders and remove the title of Sky Foundation King. However, although the title was removed, the angels of the Angel Nebula still maintain the title. It's literally what it means. He-She glanced at Angel Yu elegantly with a hint of laziness. She is Angel Yu, but she has already evolved to a peak of the third generation divine body. Angel Yin frowned and didn't say anything. He-She's position in the Angel Nebula was needless to say. She couldn't lie. Moreover, she was one of the 3 kings who came together with Holy Kaisha. She was one of the few angels in the Angel Nebula who had evolved to the 4th generation divine body. Not only would she not lie, but Angel Yu also couldn't hide anything from her. However, Angel Yu had only been around for a few years. There were many personal angels by the Heaven Cultivation King's side, and it was undeniable that most of them were angels with great potential. However, it was impossible for the Heaven Cultivation King to directly evolve a personal angel who only had a 2nd generation divine body to a peak of the 3rd generation divine body, right? Little you secretly followed the Heaven Cultivation King. When you went, you were only a 2nd generation divine body. When you came back, you were already a peak of the 3rd generation divine body. He-She smiled slightly. In human terms, you really made us look at you in a new light. Tell us, how did your divine body evolve? Angel Yu tilted her head and thought. How did the king make her evolve? It seemed like he just tapped on her. I don't know. Angel, you said in a daze. The king just tapped on me, and I evolved. I didn't want to talk about this. Chapter 1745. Wang Feng stood on a street, walking and stopping every now and then. There were all kinds of cars on the street, magnificent buildings, and an endless stream of people. There was even a relatively high-tech suspension track suspended in midair. It gave Wang Feng the illusion that he had returned to Earth in his previous life. It's really like another blue planet in a parallel universe. Wang Feng sighed. This was the blue planet's Grand Canyon City. It was the blue planet in the universe where Qian Renshua was. Since he had come to the universe where Qian Renshua was, Wang Feng came to the blue planet to see if it was different from the blue planet in his previous life. If one didn't look deeply into history and civilization, it was almost exactly the same. Wang Feng was not in a hurry to go to the Angel Nebula. He came to this universe with only one purpose. Other than helping Qian Renshua, it was to collect the power of faith. With his current ability, he could 100% satisfy any needs of all life in this universe. Of course, it would be a little difficult to meet Qian Renshua's level. In a few more years, the Douluo world will slowly get closer to this civilization. Qian Renshua beside him said softly. She was not in the appearance of an angel, but an ordinary human woman, wearing sky blue jeans and a white shirt, and there were no wings on her back. She looked like an ordinary street beauty, but her looks were slightly better than the rest. You miss it. Qian Renshua pouted slightly. Why? Is there someone in your previous life that you can't forget? Yes, a close relative, but he passed away. He should have reincarnated by now. Wang Feng replied. Here, other than you, who else could it be? Oh, I remember, their son Wukong. Son Wukong. Qian Renshua looked at Wang Feng in surprise. A super warrior from Earth, and a super warrior from a very ancient era. You know him? When I was in the Dark Demon Realm, I was lucky enough to come here for a while through the wormhole. We happened to meet. Wang Feng said. Qian Renshua nodded. This was normal. Let's take a walk. Wang Feng turned and looked at Qian Renshua. The time flow of this universe was not equal to that of the God System's universe. It was even slower on the blue planet. He had no impression of it, even if he stayed for a few more days. Qian Renshua narrowed his eyes and snorted. He grabbed Wang Feng's arm and started to walk slowly with Wang Feng on the commercial street. As the king of the angel civilization, Qian Renshua had little interest in the pre-nuclear civilization of the blue planet. After the Galactic War, the blue planet joined the Light-Dark Universe Alliance. Although the people of the blue planet did not agree with her Dark Order, they also did not agree with the righteous order left by the Holy Kaisha. However, as a community of the universe, the purpose of the Light-Dark Universe Alliance was to protect the peace of the universe. For this reason, the blue planet was happy to join. As the king of the Angel Nebula, it was obviously impossible for him to become a human woman if he was another angel of the Angel Nebula. Qian Renshua was different. She had traveled to many places in the universe and was different from most of the angels in the Angel Nebula. Their experiences were also completely different. Compared to the calm and graceful demeanor of the Holy Kaisha, Qian Renshua was more casual. Speaking of which, when I was in the Dark Demon Realm, I met many human souls of the blue planet. Wang Feng said. After Yin Qingjue took control of the reincarnation well, those human souls should have been reincarnated. I don't know if they have returned to the blue planet. Shouldn't they be reincarnated in the Dark Demon Realm? Qian Renshua pulled Wang Feng into a movie theater and wanted to buy tickets. Suddenly, she awkwardly found that she did not have any human money. I have no money. Qian Renshua glanced at Wang Feng and said righteously. The movie was a sci-fi movie, Wandering Galaxy, adapted from the Galactic War. It was different from the movie theater in Wang Feng's memory. This was a holographic theater that could really immerse people in the war that once gathered most of the forces in the universe. There was no need for any glasses, helmets, or cockpits. Wang Feng glared at Qian Renshua. Then I won't watch it. What's the point? How is it not interesting? Qian Renshua was a little angry. Are you looking down on the universe here? This is the civilization war that established the foundation of the angel civilization and the entire universe. Fortunately, the two were communicating telepathically. Otherwise, the words between the two might sound crazy to outsiders. With our identities, we can't just make some money out of thin air, right? Wang Feng looked around helplessly. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Since you came to our universe, to the human civilization, you have to follow the rules here. Qian Renxue suddenly smiled. A hint of slyness flashed in his eyes. Got it. Wang Feng looked around. Suddenly, he dropped Qian Renxue's arm and walked in another direction. Qian Renxue's gaze followed Wang Feng's gaze. It was a 16 or 17-year-old boy pushing a wheelchair. A middle-aged man with a cold expression sat in the wheelchair. There were a few obvious scars on the man's face. There was a faint murderous aura, but at this time, his eyes were exuding an aura of the setting sun. Qian Renxue watched quietly. Wang Feng walked over and said a few words to the boy. The boy looked at Wang Feng suspiciously. The middle-aged man frowned slightly. He seemed to be very wary. But Wang Feng said something, and the boy became a little excited. Then, he closed his eyes and muttered a few words with his hands as if praying. Then, he solemnly handed Wang Feng $100. Wang Feng gently blew at the middle-aged man and left. Then, the middle-aged man's face showed a shocked expression as if something unbelievable had happened. He stood up from the wheelchair and seemed to have not reacted yet. He was cold for a long time. Let's go. Wang Feng held the money in his hand and said with a smile, that middle-aged man should be a veteran of Earth, a veteran of the Galactic War. Qian Renxue whispered. The Galactic War was a war caused by the Dark Demon Realm. The lives that survived the war were basically eroded by the special, dark demon power of those soul demons. Human civilization is now unable to crack this dark demon power. That veteran should not be able to live for long. With the current human technology, he can only barely survive, but the injuries he suffered will never be able to recover, unless we use the highest technology of our angel civilization. You helped him recover. That boy produced a special power of faith. Why? Are you also interested in the faith of humans? Qian Renxue snorted softly. She heard it very clearly. The boy muttered a few cliched words. Those who believe in me will live forever. Those who respect me will live forever. Those who worship me will enjoy good health. It was to let the boy believe in a god. This god was naturally Wang Feng. Just to earn some extra money. Wang Feng pointed at the money in his hand. We angels of the Angel Nebula have faith. Qian Renxue suddenly said, you want the angels to believe in you, but not all of them are like Xiao Yu, who is so easily bought. Buying is not the right word. Wang Feng bought 2 tickets and walked into the theater with Qian Renxue. Angel Yu's own potential is not enough to support her to reach the peak of the 3rd-generation godly body. What I have bestowed upon her is a favor that is far beyond her imagination. She is the one who believes in me. How did it become buying when it came to you? Anyway, it is buying. Qian Renxue laughed. It will be difficult for you to buy other angels. Most of the angels believe in me. They did not produce the power of faith for you. Wang Feng shook his head. They have developed reverence for you, not faith. Faith is a belief and admiration of a lower life form for a higher life form. The level of life form itself is not equal. This was the theory of the divine universe. It made some sense. Chapter 1746. Qian Renxue pursed her lips and walked into the theater, quietly enjoying the magnificence of the movie with Wang Feng. The movie was very long, with an epic length of 4 to 5 hours. However, these 4 to 5 hours were actually not enough to fully depict the entire battle. It might not even reach 1%. This battle had been fought for several years. However, it was a movie, so it naturally had to be summarized. What Wang Feng did not expect was that the biggest protagonist of this battle was Qian Renxue. She was the one who led the Angel Nebula, joined forces with the Cerulean planet and the scorching sun heavenly path to defeat the soul demons of the Dark Demon Realm. Even the Devil Civilization and the Styx Nebula were involved. After all, the Dark Demon Realm was an invader from another universe. The internal strife of their own universe was an internal strife of their own universe. No wonder you wanted me to watch it. Wang Feng appreciated Qian Rinxue's valiant and heroic appearance in the movie. This human actress didn't even act out 1% of her mannerisms. Qian Rinxue looked proud. Back then, I dealt with several demon gods alone. There were also 2 demon gods who had special engines similar to our divine bodies. We broke through many desolate galaxies, and the sky turned dark. It's more than 1%, Wang Feng said. Not even 1%. Qian Rinxue nodded, very satisfied with Wang Feng's sweet words. After watching the movie, Qian Rinxue was a little reluctant to go directly to the Angel Nebula, so they found a hotel and rested for the night. They made love and were ready to return to the Angel Nebula the next day. On the way, oh, little Yu doesn't seem to have even entered the Angel Nebula. I told her to return first and get ready to welcome me. Why is she dragging her feet? Qian Rinxue and Wang Feng wandered in the universe at a leisurely pace. Sitting on Qian Rinxue's special throne, they traveled through space and looked at the changes in the universe and galaxies. Wang Feng was not in a hurry. However, Qian Rinxue was a little unhappy. The Queen of the Angel Nebula had brought her man back. If she didn't show off, wouldn't it be embarrassing? That girl must have been misunderstood. Wang Feng smiled. She went from a second-generation divine body to a third-generation peak divine body. The angels in the Angel Nebula didn't have such a huge improvement. I'm 80% sure that it's a fake. Maybe he's trying to explain himself in front of the door right now. The truth was as Wang Feng had expected. At this moment, Angel Yu was explaining, but she didn't explain clearly. Who is the king? An angel stared at Angel Yu. This girl is so muddle-headed. Do you think your divine body is a light bulb? Can it light up with a light tap? Your Majesty. Sky Foundation King Hushi thought for a moment and was slightly shocked. Could it be Heaven Cultivation King's man? The Angel Nebula had no taboos when it came to partners. However, most angels were proud. Especially now, the Angel Nebula was dominated by women. The 2 kings, Holy Keisha and Heaven Cultivation King, were both women. The status of female angels was extremely high. The male angels were banished along with the old heavenly palace order. In the angel civilization, where women were supreme, it was very difficult for angels to fancy other life forms, unless it was the top-notch kind. Otherwise, angels didn't need to find partners and didn't need to become someone's guardian angel. Anyway, the reproduction of angels didn't need to go through special exercises like mortals. Even the Dark Demon Realm had magic reproduction technology, not to mention the angel civilization. As the king of the entire Angel Nebula, the leader of the light and dark universe, the legendary existence of the universe, it was really unbelievable that Heaven Cultivation King would find a man. She also didn't understand. The main thing was that no life form in the current universe was worthy of Heaven Cultivation King. Yes. Angel Yu nodded like a chick pecking rice. Sky Foundation King, you're still so smart. You hit the nail on the head. Oh, right. I came back this time to tell the high-level angels of the Angel Nebula to welcome King and Your Majesty. Your Majesty, this title isn't very respectful to us in the Angel Nebula. Angel looked at Angel Yu suspiciously. Who is qualified to be the king's man? She was deep in thought. Perhaps he really is qualified. She said, if it's really as Xiao Yu said, with a light tap of a finger, Xiao Yu can break through the genetic limit and reach the peak of the third godly body. This kind of existence is unimaginable. The godly body and the secondary creature engine were the highest technology of the angel civilization, but not every angel could be equipped with it. It also depended on the potential and experience of different angels, as well as their genes. Some angels could become high-level angels and develop the third-generation godly body, while others could only develop the second-generation godly body. They couldn't carry the potential of the void military at all. Angel Yu's evolution to the third-generation godly body was actually okay. It could be done after spending a certain amount of resources and using Heaven Cultivation King's knowledge to unlock the genetic code after a long time. But Angel Yu's was the peak of the third-generation godly body, which was equivalent to changing Angel Yu a lot. It increased the upper limit. Angels weren't ordinary life forms. Their genes were more complicated than humans or other life forms. How could it be easy? If it was so easy, they wouldn't have only developed the fourth-generation godly body. The holy body above the fourth-generation godly body had even harsher conditions. So far, only Holy Keisha and Heaven Cultivation King could reach it. Yin, go and prepare. Gather the high-level angels of the Angel Nebula and call many angel elders to come here to welcome the king and that king. Hishi said slowly. Hishi, you're serious? Angel Yin was slightly taken aback, but she immediately reacted. That's right. We'll know if it's real or fake once we try. I'm also curious. With Heaven Cultivation King's identity and personality, who can become his king? Among the high-level warriors, Angel Yin had the highest status as an angel warrior with the best qualifications and the longest battle experience. She used to be on the same level as Heaven Cultivation King and belonged to Holy Keisha's left and right wings. She was a warrior that Holy Keisha thought highly of. Angel Yin took a deep look at Angel Yu, then walked into the light door behind her. Xiao Yu, tell me, what happened to Tian Xiu King when he went to another universe? Hishi walked to Angel Yu's side with a smile. That king? Who is he? Angel Yu thought for a moment. It's so complicated. Heaven Cultivation King. I can't explain it all in a short time. Idiot, you can share your memories with me. Hishi said. This. Angel Yu nodded and touched her head in embarrassment. I forgot that I have this ability. If I knew, I would have shared my memories with Big Sister Yin. Hishi looked at her and said, she doesn't believe that you're the real Angel Yu. She won't accept your sharing. Angel Yu stretched out her hand to Hishi. Hishi's eyes flashed with a faint light. Their palms met. In an instant, countless memory fragments gathered into a movie-like scene and appeared in Hishi's mind. Her expression changed in an instant. P.S. Sorry, I forgot to update yesterday. Chapter 1747. Angel Yu's memory. Sharing only shared all the memories of going to another universe with Tian Xiu King. Hishi felt it very vividly. A brand new world was different from the universe civilization here. This was not enough to surprise her because the civilization level of that world was not high. It was just a novelty. What surprised her was the life form that Tian Xiu King dealt with that looked similar to the Soul Demon. It was so powerful that even Tian Xiu King was helpless against it. That level of strength was a level that no life form in this universe could reach. Because of memory sharing, she could see all the scenes at that time. Angel Yu might not be able to understand what was going on, and she might not even be able to understand Heaven Cultivation King's battle. But she could understand. She could see that Tian Xiu King had exerted 100% of his combat power. Not to mention defeating him, he could barely hold on. Such a powerful life form is really terrifying. If it comes to this universe, it will be a devastating blow. She felt a sense of crisis in his heart. After some calculations, she found that the only way to defeat a life form of that level was to unite all the top forces in the universe and destroy it together. Other than that, there was no other way. There's such a powerful existence in the Dark Demon realm. Why didn't it appear in the previous galactic war? Because of the similarity in appearance and feeling, she thought that the other party was a soul demon from the Dark Demon realm. She suddenly thought of a problem. Now that Angel Yu had returned, Tian Xiu King had also returned. Then, the other party was defeated? Who is it? Who has this ability? Or has that world been destroyed? Hishi's heart tightened as she continued to watch. In the following battle, Tian Xiu King and several female human experts joined forces to fight against the enemy, but they were still no match. At this time, Hishi had vaguely guessed something. Hishi did not let go of any details in the memory and watched very seriously. That was until a mysterious ancient bell descended and directly suppressed the powerful soul demon. What kind of weapon is this? Even void weapons can't suppress it instantly. Tian Xiao King inherited Keisha's king-level arsenal, which contains the top weapons of the entire angel civilization, but they can't hurt the other party. Moreover, Tian Xiao King's angelic holy sword contains unparalleled power. It's even more powerful than Keisha's most powerful weapon, the Silver Wings. Even so, it can't cause any effective damage, let alone suppress it. The ancient bell exuded an ancient and mysterious aura, as if it could suppress the heavens and the universe, giving He a strong sense of shock. It was a powerful weapon that was completely different from the weapons of this space civilization. He didn't even feel the slightest sense of technology from the ancient bell. Even the blazing sun heavenly path, which worshipped the immortal arts of the ancient civilization, had advanced technological power in their weapons, which seemed simple and unadorned. Suppressed. Next, it should be time for the owner of the weapon to appear. He thought to himself. Sure enough, it was just as she thought. An angel used memory. After the ancient bell appeared, an imposing figure descended from the sky. Holding an ancient black spear in his hand, he pierced the soul demon with the spear. In an instant, the cloud's shadow exploded. Angel Yu's memory was completely blank. It could be seen how shocked she was at that time. He was so shocked that even his memory seemed to have stopped, so much so that she could not see the specific appearance of that figure clearly. Then he fainted. Just like that, the memory paused. In fact, she was also unconscious before, but angels were different from other life forms. Even in a coma, her perception was still there. Moreover, the main target of the battle was not her. Although she was only knocked out by the aftermath of the battle, her perception was still there, recording what happened around her. Therefore, she could perceive the scene. In this way, she could roughly know what had happened when she woke up. However, from the descent of the ancient bell to the descent of the figure and killing the latter with a single spear, there were too many energy fluctuations. This girl didn't even have her perception, and her soul was also badly injured, so she fainted. There was a gap in her memory. This made Ishi very curious. Who was the figure who held a long spear and killed the soul demon expert who had surpassed the limits of the universe with a single spear? Fortunately, the girl's memory did not stop. After all, her soul was only slightly shaken. Soon, she recovered. However, in the process of recovery, she found that the girl had a wet dream. However, the girl was unconscious at that time, but she felt it very vividly. It was not a wet dream at all. Instead, it was someone in the outside world who was having sexual intercourse, so the girl had hallucinations in her memory. Could it be? Hishi's heart skipped a beat. He endured the discomfort and experienced the girl's wet dream. When Angel Yu regained her memory, she saw Tian Xiu Monarch and a man standing intimately together. As expected, Tian Xiu Monarch's man. I didn't expect him to be so powerful. She instantly understood. There was no need to listen to Tian Xiu Monarch's explanation to Angel Yu. Only a man who could defeat an expert of that level could subdue Tian Xiu Monarch. This made him finally understand a little. After calming down the shock in his heart, she continued to watch. Not long after, she saw a scene that she would never forget for the rest of her life. She had experienced countless eras from the tens of thousands of years since the birth of the angel civilization. She had studied the secrets of genes and divine body technology for an unknown amount of time. In that scene, everything was overturned. Tian Xiu Monarch's man really tapped on Angel Yu's forehead with a finger. In an instant, she clearly felt that Angel Yu's life had changed directly. In 10 breaths, her divine body evolved from the 2nd generation to the peak of the 3rd generation. She could even feel that if this girl's starting point was not too low, she could have evolved directly to the 4th generation. This is too terrifying. What kind of method is that? Hishi's heart trembled. Logically speaking, he had heard Angel Yu say in a daze that the king had upgraded her divine body with a single finger. Hishi did not believe it at all. It was not that the upgrade of the divine body was fake, but that the other party had used some special method to upgrade Angel Yu's divine body. It was not like what Angel Yu thought, that it was over with a single finger. But now, the scene that existed in her memory, as well as the angel you in front of her, made she feel suffocated. That feeling was as if their angel civilization had crushed the pre-nuclear era's blue planet with their civilization technology. They could easily do things that humans could not imagine, crushing civilization. And now, she felt that their angel civilization had also been crushed. It had been crushed by this mysterious man with a single finger. The 10 breaths of time that the divine body had upgraded seemed to have experienced the entire angel civilization. She finally felt why Angel Yu had more admiration and respect for that king than for Tianxiu monarch in the depths of her memory. With such terrifying power, not to mention strength, just the mysterious ability to easily promote a second-generation godly body angel to a fourth-generation godly body was enough for any angel to worship him as a god. Chapter 1748. She didn't know how the other party did it, but she was sure of one thing. The other party was definitely in existence at the transcendent God level. The universe here had the concept of God. It was different from other universes. The God here referred to an intelligent life form that surpassed the understanding of technology of normal civilizations and reached an incomprehensible state. It was God. Surpassing God meant surpassing the state and transcending the universe. Only in existence at this level could she understand how the other party could so easily analyze the angel civilization and make the angels evolve. In the known universe, there was no such existence at this level. After sensing Angel Yu's memory, she fell into silence. Sky Foundation King, what's wrong? Angel Yu asked cautiously. The oldest existences of the angel civilization had always been the Sky Foundation King, whose expression would not change even if Mount Tai collapsed in front of them. In her memory, she did not have such an exaggerated expression. Shock, suspicion, silence, confusion. Finally, it returned to calmness. His expression was so wonderful that she thought that there was some bad record in her memory. She shook her head slightly. What do you think of His Majesty? When Angel Yu said this, her eyes lit up. It was the light of faith. She thought for a moment and said, He is worthy of King Tianxiu. He was more than worthy. She had a feeling that King Tianxiu was not worthy of the other party. Yes, His Majesty is really very powerful. Angel Yu's eyes lit up. She smiled. He did not blame this girl for her current appearance. If it were her, she might not be any better. Probing is unnecessary. She thought. She had asked Angel Yin to gather all the high-level angels and the angel elders. Such a grand scene was to test His Majesty. Otherwise, with so many high-level angels and angel elders here, when they saw a man beside King Tianxiu, their expressions would definitely change drastically. Then they would target His Majesty and make all kinds of trouble. Now, it seemed that there was no need at all. Angel Yu's memory sharing aloud, she to be 100% sure that His Majesty was too terrifying. He was not someone the angel civilization could fight against. After pondering for a moment, she already had a plan in her heart. After a while, a group of angels flew out from the light gate. Every single one of them was wearing exquisite silver armor. They all had perfect bodies and faces. Their faces were solemn, and their expressions were ice-cold. They were all high-level warriors of the angel civilization. There were not many high-ranking warriors, but every one of them was the strongest in the angel nebula. There were also several angel elders. They were basically all elder angels from Keisha's generation. They were all very powerful. I heard that Heaven Cultivation Monarch has a man. What happened? An angel elder walked over and asked with a cold expression. The elder angel was very old, but in reality, his appearance didn't show any signs of aging. However, the aura emanating from his body was not something that other high-level angels could compare to. With Heaven Alchemy King's strength and status, who can be her man? An angel elder said coldly, We don't object to King Tianxiu wanting to find a man. I heard about this from Yin, but to obtain our recognition, even King Tianxiu can't act recklessly. The title king does not exist in our angel civilization. No one is above the king, let alone a man. We angels will never forget the example of Xian Yi of the Heavenly Palace Order. The Heavenly Palace Order was the government of the old era of the angel civilization. At that time, the angel civilization was dominated by male angels, and the status of female angels was extremely low. Moreover, the Heavenly Palace Order advocated that they were the center of power and there were no rules or restrictions. As the highest authority of the Heavenly Palace Order, they could judge other civilizations at will. Naturally, although the current angel civilization did not reach the point of looking down on the men of other civilizations, the status of the men was not high. There's not even a single male angel inside, and almost all of them had been expelled. Angel Yin walked over and said to He Shi, "We've finished gathering. We're just waiting for King Tian Xiao to return with that king." She glanced at the many high-level angel warriors behind her. Even King Tian Xiao couldn't act recklessly, right? However, He Shi shook his head helplessly. No, no. Angel Yin looked at He Shi in surprise. So many of them aren't enough? Unless we recall the high-level angels who are still on missions in other galaxies. But is that necessary? I didn't mean that when I said no. He Shi glanced and said slowly, "That king is not someone we can deal with." Without waiting for Angel Yin to refute, He Shi said in a deep voice, "All high-level angels, listen up. Enter my spiritual network immediately." Angels had a set of programs in their divine bodies that could allow the spirits of all the angels to be in the same area together, achieving real-time transmission. The premise was that the distance was not too far. "Shall you come in too? Immediately share part of your memories with the angels," He Shi ordered. Angel Yu seemed to understand something and nodded. He Shi did not want to offend that king. The other party was too strong. It was impossible for the angel civilization to fight against him. If they slightly provoked him later, she was not sure if the other party would directly pierce through the angel nebula with a flick of his finger. The angels were not sure what He Shi wanted to do. However, they still had to listen to King Tian Xiao's orders. Angel Yin looked at He Shi in confusion. "He Shi, what are you trying to do?" The angel elder asked with a frown. "Xiaoyu has a shared memory. You'll know when you see it later," He Shi said in a low voice. "That king is not someone we can offend." The angel elder looked at her suspiciously. Soon, the angels entered the same channel and began to share part of Angel Yu's memories. These memories were deleted by He Shi. After all, some of them were related to King Tian Xiao's emotional privacy. It was not suitable for all the angels to know. The shared parts were all about that king. The angels watched the scenes and the memories very quickly. However, the more they looked, the more shocked they were. Countless exclamations and disbelief appeared in their spiritual network. This an enemy that even our king can't defeat. Who is that soul demon? Is there such a powerful life form in our universe? Why didn't such a powerful soul demon appear in the galactic war? It's too scary. Oh my God, it was suppressed. Who is it? What is that ancient bell? Wait, it was destroyed. It was destroyed by that figure? How is that possible? Who is that? Could that be King Tian Xiao's man? What? The evolution of the divine body is so simple. I'm not dreaming, am I? This can't be real, right? He can evolve the second-generation divine body to the peak of the third generation with a flick of his finger? That's too scary. Who is King Tian Xiao's man? He Shi listened with an expressionless face. Obviously, these angels were even more shocked than she was. They were even incoherent. It subverted all their knowledge. It was like a dimensionality reduction. Even those angel elders narrowed their eyes when they saw this. Their bodies started to tremble. As the ace among the high-level angels, Angel Yin was obviously much better. He Shi glanced at her and saw that her hands were trembling nonstop. She knew that she was much worse than herself. Yin is still a little young. He Shi thought. Not long after the memory sharing, the spiritual network became incomparably calm. Silence. A deathly silence. Chapter 1749. We're almost there. Wang Feng looked at the starry sky in the distance. What do you plan to do? Qian Renshua, who was sitting lazily on the throne, asked leisurely. I won't help you. What else can I do? Wang Feng pinched his chin and smiled. Since they're your people, I won't be stingy with them. I heard that your universe has a special celestial calculator called the Great Clock that can simulate the entire universe. It contains the top technology of various civilizations. For example, the technology of the fourth generation of godly bodies. The Great Clock has it. Qian Rinxue was slightly stunned. She knew about the Great Clock. However, that thing was not in their hands now. To be precise, it was difficult for other civilizations to touch that special computing cloud, because that thing was currently in the hands of the Nether River Civilization's death god, Carl. I can create a computing cloud that's even more powerful than the clock. Not only can it simulate this universe, but can also surpass the civilizations of this universe, allowing you to understand a higher level of the universe's powers, Wang Feng said. My primordial chaos origins can easily do it. This way, your angel civilization can mass-produce 3 or 4 generations of godly bodies. Other than power, what you angels desire is your own belief. Most of the angels in the Angel Nebula are still under the Holy Kaisha's Order of Justice, right? However, they don't reject your Dark Order. Instead, they have an attitude of mutual integration. Qian Rinxue pursed her lips and did not deny it. Power, huh? Belief. Wang Feng smiled. It's actually very simple. How about merging the Righteous Order and the Dark Order? What do you want to do? Qian Rinxue asked again. I'm afraid that's very difficult. The merging of orders often requires a baptism of blood and tears. Now that the universe is peaceful, our Angel Nebula is the most powerful. It's very difficult to have any opportunities. It was not that easy to make the angels of the Angel Nebula believe in God. Just upgrading the godly body alone might not be enough. Qian Rinxue even felt that those high-level angels and elders would probably make things difficult for Wang Feng when they saw him. You're right, Wang Feng said slowly. However, with me, I can use the special celestial calculator developed by the primordial origin to help angels upgrade their godly bodies. I can inject my will and divine power origin into it. After their bodies evolve, their minds and souls will sublimate. To put it simply, one's horizons would be broadened. Deal. Angels in this state will synchronize their faith and beliefs with mine. Speaking of this, Wang Feng paused. In the God system universe, this is called believer synchronization. No believer can go against the will of God. Qian Rinxue was stunned. As long as they are willing to accept the power, this will slowly happen. However, you angels have a very high life level, and your combat power is also very strong. If I want them to become my followers, it will take some time. Wang Feng said. From Qian Rinxue's combat power, it could be seen that Angel Nebula's combat power was at the top of the universe. According to the division of the divine system universe, if they were to become the dependents of the gods, they would be at least above the desolate species and below the holy species. They would be classified as heavenly species. Also, in your universe, some angels have a special power of destiny. If these angels can become my believers, they will be of great help to me. Wang Feng said. Qian Rinxue looked at Wang Feng unkindly. What do you mean? Literally, Wang Feng couldn't help but laugh. Don't worry, I have no other intentions. Besides, with the pride of angels, there's an 80% chance that you will be very unfriendly to me, your king. I'm afraid those guardian angels around you will embarrass me later. There were many angels, so Wang Feng naturally wanted to take care of Qian Rinxue's guardian angels. After all, it was convenient to have Qian Rinxue as a connection. It's good that you know. Qian Rinxue walked to Wang Feng's side, as if she had sensed something. She laughed. What are you laughing at? It seems that all the high-level angels in Angel Nebula are here, as well as all the angel elders. Qian Rinxue pretended to be casual. I asked Xiaoyu to come back early. I asked the guardian angels to pick us up, but I didn't expect to attract most of the angels here. You did it on purpose, didn't you? Wang Feng was stunned, but he immediately reacted and shook his head helplessly. It was obvious that Qian Rinxue wanted to see how he would deal with it, or she wanted to see him make a fool of himself. With so many angels here, Wang Feng couldn't directly make all of them believe in an outsider like him. Normally, Qian Rinxue's guardian angels would spread the news to the entire angel nebula. This way, these angels would quickly become his believers. Now that all of them were here, it would take a lot of effort. He might not even succeed. After all, angels were extremely arrogant. There were no major disasters here. It was a peaceful era. It was not easy to gain their faith in a short time. If they were already wary of their king, it would be even more difficult. It's none of my business. Qian Rinxue looked as if it had nothing to do with him. I just sent Xiaoyu back to report first. Who knew? That little angel of yours had been by your side for so many years. You still don't know her character? Wang Feng glared at Qian Rinxue. Qian Rinxue's eyes flashed with a hint of a smile. He was looking forward to seeing how Wang Feng would deal with these arrogant angels and those stubborn angel elders. What about the king? Just this title alone was a taboo. To think that this fellow actually thought of such a colorful way of addressing her. Wang Feng pondered. The angel nebula was getting closer and closer, but he didn't have many ideas in his mind. He guessed that he would be condemned and made difficult for her. Wang Feng was not afraid. In just a moment, Wang Feng didn't need to sense. A white sea of angels appeared in his sight. They were densely packed and displayed in the starry sky. Wang Feng had seen many big scenes, so naturally, he wouldn't be affected. He was just thinking about how to deal with it to get the best result. The white angel warriors converged into a holy sea. It was calm and silent. But the more the situation was, the more arrogant these angel warriors were. They were not easy to deal with. There were too many of them. Wang Feng pondered. Qian Rinxue was also speechless. I didn't expect Xiaoyu to attract all the high-level angels. Even he is here. It seems that the title and identity of the king have stimulated them. Qian Rinxue couldn't help but worry about this scene. She stood up from her throne, and her aura underwent a drastic change. Her lazy demeanor instantly transformed into the regal and calm demeanor of a queen. Her eyes were filled with supreme authority as she scanned the group of angels. King, Angel Yu flew over and said proudly, "Look, they're all here to welcome you and the king." Chapter 1750. Qian Rinxue glared at her. Looking at these angels, they were all silent. It was obvious that they were waiting for something. They would most likely attack together later. Although she did want to make things more difficult for Wang Feng at first. After all, angels were her race, and these were her people. How could they believe in her man so casually? Wouldn't that prove that his people were all ordinary? Angels were arrogant, and Qian Rinxue was even more so as Tianqiu monarch. Even if Wang Feng was her man, he came to the angel nebula with good intentions and wanted to obtain the power of faith. But if it was too easy to obtain, Qian Rinxue couldn't accept it. Absolutely not. However, Qian Rinxue didn't expect Angel Yu to be so reliable. She gathered all the high-level angels and elders. This wasn't just a simple increase in difficulty. She walked forward. Her voice was calm, but every angel could hear it clearly. Why do you need to make such a big scene? I just went out for a trip. Now that I'm back safe and sound, let's disperse. You elders don't usually come out of the gate of the Angel Nebula. Why are you in the mood to welcome me? Qian Rinxue wanted to disperse some of them. However, all the angels only bowed their heads and saluted respectfully. But none of them had the intention to leave. Qian Rinxue's heart skipped a beat. He knew that with the stubbornness of these angels, they wouldn't let the king go so easily. What do you mean? Qian Rinxue's voice became heavier. At this time, she flew up. Her face was still calm, and her eyes were shining with wisdom. She said, "Tianqiu monarch, shouldn't you introduce your king?" She went straight to the point. Qian Rinxue frowned slightly. She wasn't a high-level angel warrior. She was wise and experienced. It was impossible to fool her. Seeing this, Qian Rinxue could only look at Wang Feng behind him and say, "Since you already know, I won't waste time. His name is Wang Feng. He is my heaven cultivation king's man. She pointed at Wang Feng behind her with a domineering tone. As soon as he finished speaking, in an instant, all the angels present became restless. Wang Feng walked up and looked at the angels. His gaze fell on she, and his expression was calm as he nodded slightly. His eyes were filled with indifference, as if all these angels were not worth mentioning in his eyes. Ishi's figure suddenly trembled when he saw this. Qianren poked Wang Feng's back. You should at least say something. Isn't the provocation in your eyes getting stronger? However, something unexpected happened to Qianren. The next moment, all the angels present subconsciously knelt on one knee and said in unison, "Greetings, Your Majesty." The scene was extremely shocking for a moment, and it was much more exaggerated than when they bowed to Qianren. Qianren, Wang Feng. For a moment, Qianren brain short-circuited. What is going on? Am I dreaming? This can't be real, right? Qianren eyes were a little absent-minded. Do they all know Wang Feng? Or could it be that with just one sentence from him, they would all accept Wang Feng's identity as the king? Impossible. Absolutely impossible. There must be something wrong. Qianren was dumbfounded. She even wondered if she was a fake heaven cultivation king. Wang Feng was the real king of the Angel Nebula. How could this be? Moreover, Qianren could see the respect and awe in the eyes of these high-level angel warriors. Wang Feng was not as dumbfounded as Qianren. His expression still did not change much, as if this situation could not arouse any emotion in him. He seemed to know everything. However, Wang Fengxin did not quite understand. You know me? Wang Feng said indifferently as he glanced at the angels. She looked at him and thought. As expected, he was a supreme being who had surpassed this universe. A mere angel civilization was probably not worth mentioning in his eyes. Together, all the high-level angels present could sweep through almost the entire universe. With the current strength of the Angel Nebula, this was definitely not a lie. However, in front of him, it was as if they did not exist. The power he possessed was too terrifying. She did not know how Heaven Cultivation King could become partners with someone of this level. We know, she said respectfully. We have seen you and Heaven Cultivation King through Angel use memory sharing. We also witnessed everything. Hearing this, Qianren was enlightened. So that was it. She knew about the memory sharing, but she did not think about it. Moreover, Angel Yu was unconscious at that time. Qianren originally thought that this girl's memory did not contain the scene of Wang Feng and Mo Tian's fighting. It is Heaven Cultivation King's honor to be favored by you. She continued. Qianren was speechless. Qianren looked a little embarrassed and unhappy. Combining the memories of seeing Angel Yu, she saw Wang Feng's strength and ability. This changed immediately? Qianren thought about it carefully and was suddenly stunned. It seemed to be true. What was Wang Feng's current strength? How could she not see it? The entire universe combined was not enough to fight Wang Feng. If Wang Feng wanted to, he could even destroy this universe directly. Therefore, in she and the others' hearts, Wang Feng was probably an extremely dangerous existence. Moreover, with the civilization of the Angel Nebula, they did not even have the ability to resist. It was just that her relationship with Wang Feng made her image of Wang Feng as her man in her heart. Therefore, her intuition was not like she and the others. Wang Feng also understood. He could not help but sigh. The civilization of gods in the God system universe was much more developed. In that civilization, the gods would not easily descend into the world. However, once they descend, they must maintain a high level of respect, maintain the demeanor of a god, and make people revere them. They must not show any emotions, because gods must be high and mighty, holding the lifeline of all life in the universe. Therefore, Wang Feng had such an expression just now. This was actually not in line with Wang Feng's personality and style. However, one had to admit that the God system universe was something. Forgive me for being blunt. You followed King Tianxiu to our Angel Nebula. At this point, she glanced at Wang Feng. This super god-level existence looked imposing. In the form of a normal human, he had a more perfect appearance and figure than an angel. Even the pickiest angel would not be able to find a trace of flaw. This was a sign that the body had evolved to an extremely high level. The engine scan was also empty. It could not sense anything. She had a guess. The other party could easily evolve the divine body of an angel, and he was King Tianxiu's man. He must have come to the Angel Nebula to change the angel civilization, if the other party was willing, just strolling around. Wang Feng replied indifferently. This is not her home planet, but the universe where she made her fortune. Naturally, I have to come and take a look. Qian Rinxue was a little confused. This guy was just going to take a look? Her heart skipped a beat. She seemed to have understood something. We are all the people of King Tianxiu. You have bestowed such great power to angel you. Did you come here to bestow such great power to us? An angel elder said respectfully, give you strength. However, Wang Feng raised his eyebrows slightly. It was such an action, but it exuded extreme indifference. His voice was incomparably calm. Why? Just because you are her people? His words seemed to have rejected the elder angel's claim. Chapter 1751. After Wang Feng finished speaking, he closed his eyes and didn't say anything else. The angel elder's expression was dazed for a moment, and there was some disappointment in his eyes. It disappeared in a flash. Wang Feng still noticed it. In fact, it wasn't just this angel elder. When the angel elder asked this question, the other high-level angels had some desire and curiosity in their eyes. Obviously, they yearned for power. Then why did you give it to Xiaoyu? A high-ranking angel muttered. But before he finished speaking, he was interrupted by his companion next to him. Seeing this, she immediately said, why don't you return to the Angel Nebula first? You are Tianxiu King's partner, so you should tell the whole race and other civilizations. In fact, according to the convention of the angel civilization, a special ceremony needed to be held. However, that was only under normal circumstances. If Tianxiu King's partner was only a partner who was about the same or weaker than her, then this ceremony had to be held with Tianxiu King as the center. But who would have thought that this king was much stronger than Tianxiu King, and he didn't even care about the entire universe? Whether the ceremony was held or not depended on what he said. Wang Feng walked back to Qian Rinxue's throne. The high-level angels in front of him formed two rows, forming a passage like a parade. They respectfully welcomed Qian Rinxue's throne and entered the Angel Nebula. Are you playing hard to get? Qian Rinxue transmitted to Wang Feng. Not really, but if I want to get the faith of these angels, just bestowing power is not enough. Besides, there's no free lunch in the world. If I help them upgrade their godly bodies, they might not believe in me. I still need an opportunity, Wang Feng replied. What opportunity? Qian Rinxue asked. Wang Feng pondered for a moment and said, an opportunity to show how strong your man is. Or an opportunity to help them upgrade their godly bodies. If not, I won't force it. I've already accumulated a lot of faith power in the Douluo world. If I can't get it here, the last true body of faith will condense later. This would actually affect the God War in the God System universe. After all, 100 days wasn't a lot of time. Compared to the angels of the Angel Nebula, the Dark Angels of the Light and Dark Alliance are stronger. Their reverence for power far exceeds that of the angels in the Angel Nebula, but their numbers can't compare, Qian Rinxue said. If you can upgrade their divine bodies, they will definitely worship you. Dark Angel? Wang Feng was slightly taken aback. It's difficult for other civilizations. The fiery sun heavenly path had its own beliefs. It was impossible to change the beliefs of those stubborn fellows and change the God they believed in. Although, in your eyes, the fiery sun sky path's God cannot be considered a God. Qian Rinxue said seriously. In addition, there are many civilized planets from the pre-nuclear era in our light-dark cosmic alliance. Wang Feng pondered. He walked through the gate of the Angel Nebula. His surroundings suddenly opened up, and it was no longer the boundless universe. That door of light should be a wormhole technology that could directly enter another nebula. The number of angels was actually very large. It was far more than Wang Feng had imagined. Just the number of high-level angels alone was innumerable. After entering the nebula, Yi Zichen was stunned. He could see many planets emitting the aura of life, arranged in this nebula. There were also many stars emitting rich energy, radiating the entire angel nebula. Tianxiu King was naturally on the main planet of the angel nebula. This planet's life aura was the richest and the largest. After passing through the door of light, he passed through several checkpoints inside the nebula. Each checkpoint was heavily guarded by angel warriors. When he finally arrived on this main planet, Wang Feng couldn't help but sigh. The civilization level of the angel nebula was much higher than that of the Douluo world. Any random angel warrior here could easily beat up a titled Dalu of the Douluo world. Wang Feng rose to fame in the Douluo world, but he relied on the primal chaos green lotus, Pangu axe, the primordial origin, and the origin tribulation divine king's origin. It would be better to say that Wang Feng inherited the power of the former chaos world. Isn't it beautiful here? Qianrenxue looked at the city in front of him. This main city was more exquisite and huge than the king city of the Douluo divine world. Moreover, it was snow white, and many of the buildings were filled with a sense of technology, but they didn't lose their elegance and elegance. It looked like a fantasy city that didn't exist in reality. Many angels could be seen flapping their wings in the sky, elegantly shuttling through the city, flying at low altitudes. It was hard to find fault with their bearing and appearance. Not bad. Wang Feng nodded. Compared to the atmosphere and style of the dark demon world, this place was more dark. This place was heaven. The palace where Qianrenxue was located was even more beautiful, but it wasn't luxurious. It was more of an architectural style that symbolized the majesty and power of the angel civilization. By the way, what do you think about the ceremony? Qianrenxue stood on the rooftop of the palace and asked, "Why don't we do it?" Recently, I have a vague feeling that Keisha's sister, the queen of the demon civilization, is fiddling with something. The Tao Tai on the Nether River civilization side is restless again. After the Galactic War, these two fellows were afraid of my power for a while, so they stopped causing trouble. But that Carl has the big clock, and he himself has turned into the void, immortal and indestructible in this universe. You want to use this to lure them over? Wang Feng said. Yes, I'll give you a chance to show off. Qianrenxue's mouth curved up. Wang Feng was stunned. At this moment, the clone in the heavenly realm suddenly sensed a special message from Yen Qingjue. To be precise, it was from the Crimson Divine Fox Emperor. Interesting, after receiving this information, Wang Feng's eyes flashed with a faint light. What's wrong? Nothing. In that case, let's do it. Wang Feng replied. That's more like it. Qianrenxue nodded with satisfaction. In other places, she didn't care. But in this universe, Wang Feng was her man. Whether as a woman or a heaven cultivation king, she had her own selfish motives. Ceremony. The ceremony of the angel civilization naturally wouldn't be an ordinary ceremony. In the era of Holy Keisha, the angel civilization didn't interfere too much with other civilizations, and the ceremony was an important internal matter. But since the Galactic War, many civilizations united and formed the Light and Dark Universe Alliance. As the other civilizations in the alliance, they naturally had to participate in the ceremony of the angel civilization. Otherwise, if there was a heaven cultivation king descending and no one recognized her, it would be a joke. When Holy Keisha first descended on the blue planet that hadn't entered the scope of the universe was basically unknown. It was very awkward. Chapter 1752. It's going to be held. She confirmed with Qianrenxue. That's right. Not only will it be held, but we will also invite various civilizations to participate. Qianrenxue smiled and said, in addition to the many allies in the Light-Dark Universe Alliance, we will also invite Death God Carl from the Styx Galaxy and Cold Queen from the Devil Galaxy. Question mark. A question mark appeared in He-She's mind. It was normal for allies to participate. What did he mean by inviting opponents to participate? Carl and Cold Queen are not easy to deal with. She reminded her. She paused for a moment before continuing. Don't tell me you've forgotten how Keisha. Speaking up to here, she paused for a moment, his eyes carrying some sadness. Back then, Holy Keisha was schemed against by these two guys and died helplessly. It's okay. Qianren Shue waved his hand. She thought about it. Even if your king is very strong, it's always good to be cautious. Okay, then I will go and prepare. She pondered for a few seconds and nodded. Speaking of which, that girl, Xiao Yu, is really lucky. She somehow upgraded from the 2nd generation to the peak of the 3rd generation. Now that she is back, many high-level angel warriors are no match for her. Of those guards around you, perhaps only Yin Nung can fight with Xiao Yu. As for the rest, she smiled. He probably thought it was ridiculous. A little angel who had not fallen for 1,000 years could reach such a height. By the way, can I ask one more question? She said. What is it? That king. Why did he upgrade Xiao Yu's divine body? She asked. Didn't you share your memories with Xiao Yu? Qianren Shue asked. He just did casually. Xiao Yu was the only one with me back then. She fell silent. Then he walked down silently. Along with the news from the Angel Nebula, the entire universe was in an uproar. Blazing sun heavenly path, cloud heavenly court. Oh, Tian Shou Monarch's man? With Tian Shou Monarch's personality, how can any man catch his eye? Angel Maple from back then and Tian Shou Monarch now. I still remember clearly. It was a burly man in ancient armor who looked like a general. Hearing this news, he could not help but laugh out loud. Heaven Cultivation King succeeded Holy Keisha, and her strength is even stronger than Holy Keisha's. However, her personality is completely different from Holy Keisha's. This can be seen from the fact that she created the Dark Order and walked out of the Angel Nebula to establish the Light and Dark Universe Alliance. General Pan, I really didn't expect that she would have a man. A handsome man who looked like a deputy general had an expression of disbelief and jealousy. Pan Zhun patted this man's shoulder and said, a man able to become a Heaven Alchemy King. This definitely isn't simple. I advise you not to be delusional. Think about it. The Angel Nebula is now a female-led civilization. The Queen's man must be extraordinary. This subordinate knows. The deputy general sighed. It's just that I didn't expect that someone as arrogant as Heaven Cultivation King would also find a man. Didn't angels say that she wouldn't feel anything even after 10,000 years of abstinence? Looking for a man is not necessarily related to desire. It could also be related to power, Panjin said. After the Galactic War, the development of the angel civilization had actually stagnated. It's not just them. Our fiery, sun-heavenly path is the same. Pan Zhun walked out of the heavenly court and looked at the distant sky. A hint of confusion flashed across his eyes. Stagnated? The deputy general didn't understand. Rena is the sun god's descendant. She should have inherited the godhood and led our fiery sun planet to become stronger. But after the Galactic War, I've been thinking all these years, Pan Zhun muttered. What's the end of our road? The deputy general's body shook as he looked at Pan Zhun in disbelief. Blue planet. At a certain mountain peak, in a villa. This is how it is. The Angel Nebula has invited us to attend the ceremony. Great sage, you're a warrior who fought alongside the angel civilization in the Galactic War. We plan to send you and a super godly team over. On the screen, a man in military uniform said with a serious expression, Did I hear wrongly? Dutsao ceremony? What ceremony? Goku was wearing casual clothes. He was stunned for a while before he scratched the monkey hair beside his cheek and asked, Say that again? The Angel Nebula has invited us to attend the ceremony. It's the ceremony of Heaven Cultivation King and her king. So he's Heaven Cultivation King's man? Goku asked to confirm. You can think of it that way. Whoa! Goku jumped up. Those angels can find men? And Heaven Cultivation King? TSK, this is also you. If someone else told me this, I wouldn't believe it even if you beat me to death. Whether you believe it or not, you have to go. After all, we're allies now. The angel civilization has helped us a lot over the years, Dutsao said. That's what we should do. We have to go. Goku waved his hand. He immediately changed into a pitch-black armor. No, dude Sao. This armor is a bit old. Give me a new one. The new one is still being developed, and it's not as functional as your old one. That's fine. It's a ceremony. According to the customs there, we can't go with an old outfit, right? It's not suitable. Dude Sao was silent for a while before he said in a low voice, I heard that the Angel Nebula has also sent invitations to the Nether River Star system and the demons. Are you sure? Not only the demons might be there, but there might also be Tao Tai. Then forget it. Goku was stunned for a while before a glimmer flashed across his eyes. Let's wear this. Tell Gu Shaolin and the others. Get everything ready for me. I'm afraid this isn't a simple ceremony. Demon message. Cold Chill held a glass of red wine and looked at the many demons below the sky tower. Yaktos, is there a reply from that person? Cold Chill suddenly asked behind her. Honorable Queen, there's no reply yet. In the void, a crimson demon with a pair of wings appeared. This demon also carried a huge sword on his back. His appearance was very unique. F*CK. Cold Chill cursed. I knew it. There's no such good thing in the world. How dare you lie to me? You can let us demons surpass the angels. Now, at the Angel Nebula, that bitch Keisha is finally gone. Now, there's Tianxia Monarch. How can we have a chance to stand out? Forget it, that person didn't reply, but I received a message from the Angel Nebula. Queen, do you want to hear it? Oh, tell me about it. They invited us to attend this ceremony. The ceremony of Tianxia Monarch and her man. Cold Chill was stunned. She spat out the red wine she just drank, as if she heard something unbelievable. Man, when Holy Keisha was still around, there wasn't a single male creature in the entire universe who could be her man. Not to mention being her man, there weren't many who could enter her eyes. Demon Queen Cold Chill pinched her chin. Now, this Tianxia Monarch, who's even stronger than Keisha, is actually looking for a man. Interesting. She even invited us. That's even more interesting. Then are we going? Go your ass. Cold Chill glared at Yaktos. This is obviously a F**king trap. Wouldn't I be courting death if I went there? Not going. Chapter 1753. Demon Queen Lung Bing snorted and drank the red wine that was as red as blood in one gulp. Tian Xiuwang's strength is even stronger than Keisha's by a notch. A man that can make her fancy him is definitely not ordinary. Lung Bing smiled coldly. Men have a very low status in the Angel Nebula. Tian Xiuwang held this ceremony to announce to the universe and invited us opponents. I'm afraid it's to let her man show his power and give him a high status in the Angel Nebula. Angels are also women. I'm also a woman, even if she's an angel and I'm a demon. But this queen also understands women's thoughts. Yaktos felt that the queen's thoughts were very strange, but also very reasonable. Then if we don't go, Yaktos thought for a while, isn't it telling them that we demons are already afraid of their angels? Queen, I think you're wise. You can see through Tian Xiuwang's thoughts, but you should not go. Moreover, no matter how powerful Tian Xiuwang's man is, he can't be stronger than Tian Xiuwang, right? I don't believe he can deal with us. Also, Tian Xiuwang invited Carl. If you and Carl work together, Tian Xiuwang won't dare to fight force with force. Could it be that he's afraid of a man? Yaktos raised the long sword on his back. If it doesn't work, Queen, I'll take the elites of my race. It's good to go for a while. Lung Bing smiled. Don't worry. That person hasn't replied yet. Queen, didn't you say he lied to us? Just angry words. Lung Bing stretched. He didn't lie to us. He's waiting for us. Is the altar ready? The altar was built long ago, but we haven't found a suitable sacrifice. Yaktos shook his head. Lung Bing pondered for a moment and said, Let's go. Let's go to the altar. As soon as she finished speaking, her figure suddenly disappeared on the spot. Yaktos hurried to follow. When they reappeared, they were already in the starry sky of the Demon Nebula. There's a sacrifice. Lung Bing pinched her round chin and flapped the black demon wings on her back, looking at the starry sky ahead. Where is it? Yaktos asked. In front, Lung Bing pouted. In front, Yaktos took a look, and his bell-sized eyes immediately shrank. It was a star. Stars were very special energy planets that emitted intense energy at all times. In the nebula, there are many stars, but there were not many that could be exploited. Try sacrificing this thing to that god, Cold Chill said slowly. That god has transcended our universe and is naturally stronger than us. If it can really make the demons surpass those angels, it will be worth it. But this is the star of our nebula. Jaquitos said in a low voice. With one less, our warriors and technology will lack energy. The progress of development would definitely slow down. If that self-proclaimed god is a fake, wouldn't it be a waste of effort? I don't think so, Lung Bing said. Just now, Carl suddenly sent a secret message. He told me that the god sent down a miracle and gave his Tao-Tai warriors immortal and indestructible bodies. Even void weapons can't kill it directly. Even after it's killed, it can be quickly reconstructed. This, Yaktos was slightly taken aback. This is the level of a fourth-generation divine body, right? Is it that godly? No, it's not a divine body. It's a special power, Cold Chill said in a low voice. Those Tao-Tai warriors don't have the power of a fourth-generation divine body. They only have the characteristic of being immortal and indestructible. In other words, the power of our universe can't kill them. Yaktos sucked in a cold breath. Currently, only Keisha's divine body and Carl's illusory body were known to have this characteristic. Although those Tao-Tai warriors didn't become much stronger, they were immortal and indestructible. It meant that their combat power would never disappear. Carl couldn't analyze this special power even with a big clock. It can only mean that the god's universe is superior to ours. Or that God's civilization is too advanced, Cold Chill said. Lung Bing said, also, Carl seems to have gained some abilities. What do you mean? Yakto's heart pounded. Carl's body turned into the void and became an illusory body. Carl, Cold Chill said slowly. This guy even abandoned his body. He did manage to coexist with the universe. Back then, his combat power was inferior to Holy Keisha's. Of course, the things he invented were very powerful. However, he didn't have much combat power. He wasn't good at these things. That god seemed to have given him a special body. Does Carl need a body? Yaktos was puzzled. If he wants, it shouldn't be difficult for him to create a fourth-generation divine body, right? What does a body have? Carl naturally doesn't care about ordinary divine bodies, Cold Chill said. But after Carl became an illusory body, he couldn't have a physical body. In other words, he could create a fourth-generation divine body, but he couldn't possess it. He couldn't use the power of the divine body, or he would lose his illusory body. He wouldn't be invincible. An illusory body was a spiritual body that had merged with the void. No weapon in the known universe could cause any harm to it. The only thing that could hurt it was to analyze it and rewrite it from the universe's rules. For example, turning it into a tortoise and turning it into a physical body. However, it was unrealistic for the entire universe to do this. Even the big clock couldn't calculate the void completely. Carl, who had merged with the void, couldn't calculate it. It was just a possibility. So, in this universe, Carl was indeed invincible. Let's not talk about how strong this divine body is, but it can withstand Carl's illusory body. This means that he can equip himself with a powerful engine, and his combat power will soar. Keisha won't be his match, even if she reincarnated. Whether Tenshio Monarch can defeat him or not depends on the strength of that divine body. Cold Chill said slowly. Then what did Carl pay? 3 stars as an offering. Cold Chill pointed at the stars in front of them. That god is quite generous. So, I want to try it now. Otherwise, this kind of payment first, and then settling the bill isn't my style. With that, she waved her hand. Pillars of light flickered around the star, and a mysterious array began to converge below the pillars of light. A moment later, the stars flickered, turned into endless light, and disappeared. Almost at the same time, a majestic figure appeared in the starry sky like specks of starlight, infinitely large. It seemed to fill the entire starry sky, but it was illusory and not physical. I receive the offering. I now bestow upon you a God-suppressing whip. With this item, you can kill billions of lives here and enlighten the divine body of an evil demon. It has many profound uses. The majestic figure emitted an ancient voice. In the starry sky, Lung Bing and Yek Toth's hearts trembled. When the figure disappeared, Cold Chill took a deep breath and said in a low voice, "No wonder Carl believed it. This god isn't a life form of our universe. Just his aura alone is too strong." Chapter 1754. However, it's still trustworthy. I like it. After the light faded, a divine whip appeared where the star had disappeared. In a vast starry sky, it was still emitting a dazzling light. It's a weapon. Lung Bing gently grasped the whip made of an unknown material. "Queen, this whip suits your temperament very well," said Yaktos. Liang Bing didn't speak. Instead, she felt the mystery and power contained in the whip. Unfortunately, with the engine in her body, even if she activated the most powerful celestial computer of the demon civilization, it was difficult to analyze the material of the whip. She could only vaguely feel that the whip contained a special power. It was the power of the void. It was also some kind of stronger technological structure. As she held it, this power entered her divine body and underwent some kind of transformation. With this thing, a smile appeared on Liang Bing's face. This queen can't miss the Angel Nebula ceremony. Angel Nebula. Your Majesty, what are you doing? Tomorrow was the ceremony. Angel Yu followed Wang Feng. She originally planned to let the king change into the Angel Nebula's men's clothes. But thinking about it, with the king's status, how could he change into the Angel Nebula's men's clothes? Most of the male angels in the Angel Nebula were expelled. Their clothes were not good enough. Now she wanted to ask the king's opinion. However, since the king came to the Angel Nebula, he had been in the house and rarely appeared. Especially now, the king was holding a cloud of light in his hand. It was like a cloud, like a fog, but not a fog. It changed constantly. "What's the matter?" Wang Feng asked without blinking. "Well, the ceremony needs you to change your clothes. But I don't think the Angel Nebula's men's clothes are good enough for you." Angel Yu whispered, "The king asked me to come over and ask you what you think. Isn't my outfit good?" Wang Feng said. As soon as he finished speaking, he asked, "Is there anything symbolic in the Angel Nebula?" "Symbolic?" Angel Yu tilted her head and thought for a moment. "The angel sword? Even the king's throne looks like a sword. What about the others?" "Others?" Angel Yu thought for a moment. When Queen Keisha was still alive, the cross sword symbolized justice and order. Now that King Tinshu has the dark angel, the symbol of the angel has become the black cross sword. Wang Feng. "Oh, there's one more." Angel Yu suddenly said, "Heaven Shio King likes a special kind of flower. Originally, I wanted to use it as a symbol of the angels, but I couldn't win against the stubbornness of our angel elders, so I didn't change it." Flower. Wang Fengshin's heart stirred. He thought of the snow epiphyllum that he and Xianren Xue had created in the ancestral realm. There was also a special meaning attached to it. Snow epiphyllum, then. Wang Feng's palm moved slightly, and a special light flashed in his eyes. The light mist in his palm began to change rapidly. It turned into a strange flower. "What is this?" Angel Yu looked at the flower in Wang Feng's palm. Wang Feng smiled faintly. "This is your heavenly cultivation king's divine knowledge vault. But now I've modified it." Angel Yu opened her mouth wide. The divine knowledge vault was the most powerful celestial computer of the angels. It contained all the cutting-edge technology of the angel civilization. Angel Yu was well aware of this. Usually, only the Angel King was in charge of it. "You. Angel Yu's voice trembled. "Don't worry," Wang Feng said slowly. "I've just strengthened it a little. Come here." Angel Yu walked over. "Put your hand on it." Angel Yu obediently put her hand on the flower. In an instant, countless symbols floated out from the inside of the flower and surrounded Angel Yu's body. It turned into a pillar of light. It was like the evolution in Digimon. Angel Yu felt as if something had been opened in her divine body. waves of powerful energy and will continuously surged out from within the flower. She felt as if her brain was operating rapidly. Fourth generation divine body? She, who had just walked out of the room, was slightly stunned. He sensed a special aura. Good Lord, Heaven Shio King asked Xiaoyu, that girl, to ask His Majesty. How did her divine body evolve again in the blink of an eye? The peak of the third generation was only a millimeter away from the fourth generation. However, this small gap was the key to the super genetic code technology. It wasn't that easy. So far, other than She and Heaven Shio King, there weren't many in the entire Angel Nebula who had truly reached the fourth generation divine body. Even those angel elders were at most at the peak of the third generation divine body. One had to know that every angel's genetic secret was different. She, who had the sacred knowledge treasury and was already the developer of the sacred knowledge treasury, was qualified to be developed to the fourth generation level. She opened the door and watched quietly. It wasn't considered peeping. She was looking openly. That king didn't seem to mind. That flower is Heaven Shio King's sacred knowledge treasury. His heart is really big. He can even give such an important thing to him directly. She couldn't help but say this in her heart. But just as she finished speaking, she shut up. He strengthened the sacred knowledge treasury. No, he recast it. She took a deep breath. He analyzed the technology of the angel civilization. When she looked at the latter with a complicated expression. He just came yesterday. At that time, Heaven Shio King still had the sacred knowledge treasury on him. How long had it been? He left it here as if it was just for fun and recast it. Furthermore, she could clearly sense that within that flower, it contained an extremely powerful power. She thought of the big clock of the God River civilization. That thing was claimed to be able to deduce the entire universe. Later, it was obtained by Carl. Carl saw the end of the universe through the big clock, assimilated with the void, and became an illusory body, almost invincible. Even Keisha couldn't do anything to it. Later, it was tricked by the big clock Carl and cold ice. In the end, it was disintegrated by the big clock, turned into countless sacred atoms, and scattered everywhere in the universe. It would take hundreds of millions of years for it to be resurrected. It was equivalent to death. That big clock had such a powerful force. She had never seen what the big clock looked like, but she felt that the flower in the king's hand might be even more terrifying than the big clock. I didn't prepare a gift for coming to your angel nebula. Wang Feng pondered. So, King, is this the gift you gave us? Angel Yu asked excitedly. I've become stronger again. No, this isn't it. Wang Feng shook his head slightly. She was stunned. If this wasn't a gift, then what was it? Then, she secretly shook her head. He probably couldn't return such a powerful thing to the Angel Nebula. This thing originally belonged to your Angel Nebula. Wang Feng said lightly. It belongs to your Heaven Shio King. Naturally, it can't be considered a gift. She. Then what is the gift? Angel Yu asked. Heaven Shio King. Wang Feng casually spat out 3 words. Hearing these 3 words, Angel Yu was stunned. She didn't react. She reacted, and her pupils contracted violently. Chapter 1755. Angel Nebula, Main Planet. Ceremony Day. For the angels, this ceremony was different from the coronation of a king. But compared to the coronation of a king, today's ceremony was much grander. Many civilizations that joined the Light and Dark Universe Alliance could not understand. Heaven Cultivation King of the Angel Nebula, another legend after Kesha. Why would such a grand ceremony be held? And it was all because of a man. The main planet of the Angel Nebula, this place looks much more comfortable than the blue planet. Several figures descended from the sky. They passed through the gate outside the Angel Nebula and arrived at the main planet. The leader had a monkey-like face and a thunderous mouth. He was Sun Wukong, the guardian of the cerulean planet. Beside him, there were several men and women. These men and women were the super warriors of the blue planet with super genes. They had the power to dominate the universe, although they were just ordinary people when they were alive. But after awakening super genes, It meant that they had stepped into a whole new realm. Oh my God, why do I feel like I'll pollute the air in this place if I breathe? A tall and muscular man scratched his head as he looked down at the snowy city below. Lu Chuang, you're called the war god of planet Nuwa. Can you not be so tacky? So embarrassing. Beside the tall and strong man, a skinny man who looked like a loser laughed and scolded. Zhao Xin, before you say that, you should at least look at yourself. Besides, my title has nothing to do with whether I'm tacky or not. Lu Chuang laughed and did not think much of it. A few of them argued and joked. Are you the super warriors of the Blue Planet Divine College? At this moment, an angel flew up and said with a smile, the ceremony is about to begin. Please follow me. Wait. Sun Wukong suddenly stopped this angel and said, I heard that the Angel Nebula invited the Taotai and demons of the Nether River civilization. Are they here yet? Not to mention the demons, the Taotai had once invaded the Blue Planet. Several large cities on the Blue Planet were destroyed and rebuilt later. Naturally, the Taotai from the Nether River civilization was not friendly to the Taotai from the Blue Planet. Great Sage Sun, don't worry. The angel warrior smiled. They won't dare to come. Taking a step back, it would be perfect if they came. Is the Angel Nebula that confident? Goku asked. You invited your opponent to your hometown? I remember that there was an internal strife in the Angel Nebula. I think someone called Xian, you tried his best to break the door outside the Angel Nebula. They were all stopped by you. Now, you even want to invite your former opponents in. This ceremony is really strange. The angel warrior smiled, but did not reply. Who is your king? At this moment, a woman with a voluptuous figure and an exquisite face walked out from beside Goku. She was wearing a sexy black battle dress. He asked. Her words carried a special aura, and her temperament was especially special. She exuded a faintly discernible aura of a leader. One look, and one could tell that he was no ordinary person. Naturally, the angel warrior paused. Men, you angels look for men? The woman smiled. Goddess Rina, you must be joking. You're the future king of the sun heavenly path, but you'll have men in the future, the angel warrior said seriously. Why can't we have men? Before the Galactic War, the Taotai army attacked your cerulean planet. We angels went to save you, and a few of the angels developed feelings for your cerulean planet warriors. But they were all sacrificed. But that's your Tianxiu monarch. Rina pouted. Tianxiu monarch looking for your man, in the eyes of a goddess, is as rare as this monkey looking for a female monkey. Rina, what do you mean? Goku snorted. Do you want to fight again? Tianxiu monarch looking for a man has nothing to do with you. Both of you, let's not fight. All right, Goddess Rina, General Pan from your sun planet is here. The angel warrior immediately changed the topic. He said that if you're here, I'll bring you to him first. He has something to say to you. I'm not going. Rina stretched. I'm now a super warrior of the cerulean planet, a member of the Divine College. Sun Planet's Rina has already gotten off work. I still have to take a good look at Tianxiu Monarch's man later. After saying that, she left first. The angel warrior had no choice but to follow. Goku shook his head. The location of the ceremony was in the circular plaza of the Angel City. Generally speaking, it should be in the palace. But Tianxiu Monarch changed the location of the ceremony to somewhere else. This angel warrior brought Goku and the rest to land in the main city. Suddenly, the angel warrior's body shook, as if he sensed something. He was stunned on the spot. Little angel, why aren't you moving? Lu Chuang suddenly asked. No, nothing, the angel warrior said softly. Goku and the rest exchanged glances, not knowing what this little angel was doing. Luckily, this angel warrior recovered quickly and immediately brought them to the plaza where the ceremony was held. The etiquette of angels was different from humans. Many people are here. Rina was a little excited. Look, that's the Light and Dark Universe Alliance, the westernmost Sky Devil civilization. Goku, your relatives might be there. Sky Devil civilization is located in the westernmost part of the universe. When the civilization was born, they were all the same species as you. Their Sky Devil civilization is also very powerful. With that, Rina pointed to another location. Over there, over there. TSK, that's the Northern Science Civilization in the north of the universe. Their political system is somewhat similar to our scorching sun heavenly Tao. Both of them are more conservative. I heard that they were able to join the alliance because Heavenly Cultivation King was there. He helped them fight a few cosmic rifts and resolve their survival crisis. They joined later. There's also the Kanglan Civilization. Kanglan Civilization is a civilization quite similar to your blue planet, but they advocate martial arts. Their cultivation method and science are two completely opposite paths, but they are still very powerful. They belong to the category of ancient methods. They are all allies of the Light and Dark Universe Alliance. Basically, everyone is here. Rena looked around. In a very inconspicuous location, she saw a warrior from Sun Planet. Sister Rena, isn't it your hometown's General Pan? Zhao Xin winked. Aren't you going to say hello? Rena waved her hand and glared at Zhao Xin. Are you itching for a beating? Chapter 1756. Don't you think that this ceremony is a bit strange? A young man who had been silent suddenly said. His name was Gu Xiaoluan, and he was also from the Divine College. The Divine College of the Blue Planet had 3 god-making projects. According to the super genes they awakened, they were called the Galaxy Power, the Norian God of War, and the Light of the Sun. In fact, it was not the Blue Planet that initiated this god-making project. It was another civilization that had been destroyed or disappeared, the Divine River Civilization. The original purpose was to deal with the crisis of civilization. As the 3 protagonists of the god-making project, the 3 together had the power to rival the top of the universe. Those are the protagonists in the original work, right? Wang Feng, who was on the windowsill of the palace in the main city, looked at Goku and the others in the square and narrowed her eyes. Are they the ones you said have the power of destiny? Qian Renshua walked to her side and glanced at her. These are the remnants of the Divine River Civilization. They do have great power and potential. In the galactic battle, they also played a vital role. Qian Renshua rubbed her chin. But according to what you said, am I also an angel with the power of destiny in this universe? Wang Feng shook her head. If you didn't come to the Angel Nebula, the one sitting on the throne now would not be you, but someone else. You mean Angel Yin? Qian Renshua was slightly stunned. Among the high-level warriors in the Angel Nebula, only Angel Yin has the prestige and strength. But her personality is not suitable to be a queen. You are not from this universe at all. Wang Feng coughed a few times. What power of destiny do you have? You rely on the original power of the Tribulation Origin Deity King. It has nothing to do with this universe. Naturally, it has nothing to do with this universe. Only these few. Wang Feng pointed at Goku, Gu Xiaoluan, and the others. They're the protagonists with the power of destiny. It's just that they're too weak now. Your arrival has changed the original trajectory of this universe and their original growth path. Qian Renshua was expressionless. Oh, it's coming, Wang Feng suddenly said. Qian Renshua raised his eyebrows and sneered. You really have the guts to come. Black clouds suddenly rolled in the originally indomitable blue sky. It was the battleship of the Nether River Civilization. What came down from the battleship was a special creature that was completely black and looked like a machine. It had 2 pairs of skeletal wings on its back. It looked very special. Is that King Taotai? Gu Xiaoluan looked at the figure and was slightly stunned. Wasn't this guy killed by me? Resurrected again? King Taotai was the leader of the Nether River Civilization. Behind the Nether River Civilization stood Death God Karl, but Karl did not participate in the Nether River Civilization's government. The Nether River Civilization had its own bosses and leaders. Of course, they all respected Karl. Lonnie, what's going on? Sun Wukong whispered. The Taotai army's attack on the Cerulean planet was part of the Cerulean planet's unbearable history. Because that was the time when the Divine College, which was also the time when the 3 god-making projects had just begun. The Blue Planet had almost no power to resist. If not for the help of the Angel Civilization, it would have been difficult to survive that difficult period. Later, After many difficulties, the three warriors of the God-making project rose and defeated the Taotai army. "Let me see," Gu Xiaoluan said in a low voice. As soon as he finished speaking, Gu Xiaoluan instantly activated the universe engine in his body. Using the power of the Milky Way and the help of the angel civilization, he built a special engine. Universe was his greatest weapon. Universe activated. Open the operation interface. Target confirmed. Analyzing target. Known creature library. Appearance is beast-type creature. Unable to analyze the material of the creature's composition. Target creature is equipped with a void engine like the Nether River. The core computing speed is 6 frequency, but unable to analyze. Gu Xiaoluan frowned. He knew that Death God Karl of the Nether River civilization had powerful and unpredictable abilities. It was not difficult to recreate a King Taotai, but this was definitely not a recreated King Taotai. It was the King Taotai that was destroyed by him, the one that was defined as nothingness and turned into dust. Resurrected? "Lonnie, how is it?" Sun Wukong asked. "No, it's different from before," Gu Xiaoluan said in a low voice. "My Xiongxin engine has all the data of the other party, which means that the other party is the King Taotai from before. But it's different from before. His body cannot be analyzed at all. Even the basic composition cannot be analyzed. But the void engine that the other party created is not strong, far inferior to my universe. Logically speaking, I should be able to analyze it. But speaking of this," he paused. At the same time, as the battleship from a Nether River civilization appeared on this planet, the King Taotai descended. As well as the Taotai king who had descended, the ceremony square was in an uproar. "It shouldn't be. I don't know what went wrong." Gu Xiaoluan's eyes were slightly blank. "The other party is clearly a known creature, but it cannot be analyzed, and it does not have a void engine stronger than mine. My Xiongxin engine has 12 frequency. Back then I could. This is not good." Sun Wukong thought for a while. Could it be that Karl is secretly playing tricks? "Karl can't resurrect the dead King Taotai," Rena said in a low voice. "Karl can recreate thousands of King Taotai, but it is impossible for him to resurrect the same King Taotai. Even the big clock does not have such a powerful ability to reverse the universe." They had a vague feeling that something was not right. Gu Xiaoluan, long time no see. King Taotai descended in the ceremony square in an uproar. He was tall, and from his appearance, there was a special kind of beauty. As a high-level life form in the universe, there were no flaws in his body. Even if the civilization was different and the aesthetic was different, it was usually hard to find flaws. Once this King Taotai descended, what surprised many of the civilization representatives who came to participate in the ceremony was that the angels did not do anything. They did not even send out the angel warriors. Long time no see indeed. Gu Xiaoluan walked out with a calm face. "King Taotai, you can still be resurrected. I really did not expect it." "Yeah, why? Do you want to try like last time?" King Taotai said with a smile. "See if your Xiongxin engine can be like last time and directly rewrite me into a pile of scrap metal." Gu Xiaoluan's mouth twitched slightly. This guy obviously had something to rely on, or else he would not say such things. "And you little sweethearts." King Taotai glanced at Sun Wukong and the others. "Last time, your cerulean planet could escape, but this time it will not be so easy. This is the Angel Nebula," Rena suddenly said. "You are so arrogant here. Aren't you afraid of angering that King Tianxiu? We can't deal with you, but King Tianxiu can beat you up like killing an ant, right? Karl will not just stand by and watch." King Taotai smiled and said, "Not to mention, after today, the Angel Nebula might be history." As soon as these words came out, as expected, it immediately caused an uproar. What arrogant words! Chapter 1757. Provocation. After today, the Angel Nebula might cease to exist. It was a blatant provocation. At this moment, before the angels could speak, many guests who had come to attend the ceremony could no longer hold themselves back. "Taotai King, don't tell me you've forgotten who you are?" Or do you not know where this is? You're courting death. This is the main planet of the Angel Nebula. You Taotais were invited here. Not only did you not know your place, you even dared to speak such arrogant words. Back then, the Taotai army attacked the Cerulean planet and suffered a crushing defeat. They fled back to the Styx Nebula with their tails between their legs. Have you, the king of the Styx civilization, forgotten how defeated you were back then? The representatives of several civilizations rebuked one after another. There were even some who wanted to attack him directly. As the representatives of their civilizations, they were all powerhouses who stood close to the peak of this universe. Naturally, they were not afraid of King Taotai, even though King Taotai seemed to have become much stronger. However, this was the place of the Angel Nebula after all. They were guests and could not attack at will. However, King Taotai did not care at all. He just laughed and said, "Attack directly if you have the ability. Righteous and holy angels, what? I, King Taotai, am standing right here. Why should I be afraid of you?" As soon as he said that, a cold voice sounded. "Then I'll grant you your wish." A blazing light came from afar at the speed of light. It was a valiant angel with short golden hair. He was holding an Angel Nebula Flame-class void weapon, the Angel Sword. Angel Yin. The representatives of many civilizations recognized the combat power representative of the high-level angels. Moreover, as an angel warrior who had executed countless people in the universe for thousands of years, he had eliminated countless civilizations. The name of Archangel Yin, there were few civilizations in the universe that had heard of him. The sword slashed down. It seemed to contain the power of the peak chaotic stars. Before the violent airflow fell, it shook. The main planet of the Angel Nebula was different from other planets. It had been reinforced by a special power and was very stable. Many disasters in the universe could not even cause a ripple on the main planet of the Angel Nebula. Naturally, it was very difficult to use such a powerful force on such a stable planet. However, Angel Yan's sword could still easily shatter the void. But King Taotai didn't dodge. He didn't even move the mechanical wings on his back. The sword light slashed down, and the terrifying power split King Taotai into two. The scene appeared to be extremely fast and bizarre, even causing the representatives of countless civilizations to be stunned. He probably didn't expect the arrogant King Taotai to be so weak. However, in the next moment, this thought in their hearts was quickly overturned. "You're just a third-generation angel, and you think you can kill me with just a flame-class void weapon? Is that all you high-level angels have?" King Taotai, who had been split in half, did not disappear, but he was still able to let out a bell-like voice. "This void weapon of yours is equipped with an engine that doesn't even have the basic ability to rewrite matter. With just strength alone, I'm afraid that you would have a hard time defeating the previous me." Following that, the Taotai king that was split in half began to transform into two Taotai kings. Moreover, they both exuded the same powerful aura. It was incomparably strange. "Great sage, this Taotai king didn't steal your clone technique, did he?" On the other side, the super warrior from the Divine College was dumbfounded. "No, my doppelganger technique splits my strength into two, and it also requires a special black armor as a carrier." Goku shook his head. However, the aura of the two clones of King Taotai is no weaker than the previous one. It's not a clone, but a split. Gu Xiaolun took a slight breath. It used an unknown genetic code to split genes and absorb the power of Angel Yan's sword at the same time, and it's a complete split. I can feel two powerful life symbols here, which means that it's definitely not an illusion. Hearing this, everyone was extremely shocked. An unknown genetic code meant an unknown power. Was it given by that Carl? Rena murmured. She looked at Panjun and found that the latter's eyes were also filled with confusion. This general who had been in charge of planet Liang for tens of thousands of years, a powerful figure in the universe who could be compared to Holy Kaisha, did not seem to understand either. In the immortal spell civilization of planet Liang, such a special ability did not seem to exist. Angel Yin turned around and looked at the two King Taotai with a slight frown. Then he glanced at the Nether River Civilization's battleship in the sky. What continue? Is this all you angels can do? King Taotai let out a wanton and arrogant laugh. Angel Yin did not attack. Although I don't know where you got this special ability. Angel Yin said slowly. But it seems like it's specifically targeted at me. An angel? King Tao Ye's laughter paused. The representatives of the various civilizations vaguely guessed something. Angel Yin is still very experienced. On the other side, she nodded slightly. Her gaze fell on King Taotai with a slightly cold gaze. She was the pioneer of the Angel Civilization's technology. Back then, the Angel Civilization's secondary biological engine, the Void Engine, was developed by her. Right now, she did not quite understand how King Taoye's strange ability came about. But it was obvious that this was just King Taoye's expression. Or rather, this ability was only targeted at angels. As long as angels attacked him, he could absorb the power and split them. If this continued, this King Taodai could split into two into four, and the number would keep increasing. He did not need other Taotais. He could form an army on his own and sweep through the entire Angel Nebula. She felt that if she was given time, she should be able to come up with a countermeasure. But now, she looked at King Tianxiu on the other side. King Tianxiu looked at Wang Feng. Can I kill him? Yes. Wang Feng nodded. But there's a risk. King Tianxiu snorted. There's a risk? If I have to attack, wouldn't that be too embarrassing? This King Taotai is at most a puppet of Karl. King against king, general against general. The king of the Angel Nebula, the leader of the Light-Dark Universe Alliance. If she attacked King Taotai, even if she won, it would not be a big deal. No, he's not Karl's puppet. Wang Feng shook his head. His ability comes from another god. Qian Rinxue's tone sank. You mean, it's from the divine universe? Wang Feng pondered for a moment and said, Ask Angel Yin to come over. What do you want to do? Qian Rinxue asked. The opponent's method is not very advanced. At most, it's one level higher than your universe's civilization. But it's a god from the divine universe, after all. With this kind of ability, it's still very difficult for you to crack it in a short time. Wang Feng smiled. I can help her upgrade the Void Engine in the Angel Sword in her hand, build a special framework, and one sword should be able to completely destroy the opponent. In a chapter that you're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.